What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Climax of Night F, the finale, the final event here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm Tabby. I'm joined with Jade Sue. We're here for some Undernight In-Birth 2 pools, and we are going to be having some just some like stupid high quality matches happening right here with the amount of high level play. Like looking at just how all these matches are going to play out, what qualifies in the top 96, what qualifies in the top 24. The level of play at this event is outstanding, and I'm really excited to see who's able to come out on top of this pool.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. It's also going to be a little bit terrifying, right? Because if you guys tuned in for last year's Climax, it was a bloodbath, right? Just thinking, oh, okay, you're just trying to fight out for top 48 when some of the best players throughout the country and, of course, internationally as well are also some of the demons in your pool taking up those 3 slots to qualify out. If I'm not mistaken, it's 6 out for these pools, but it's also 32 people now for a pool.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, I have a few more chances, but there are even more potential demons that I have to run into and make sure I'm prepared for to even try and make it out into top 96. So hopefully you guys are excited for all that action.
Yeah, it should be really good. And just like that, we have one of our starting matches with one of these players that is someone to be looking out for in this tournament. Pinku, otherwise known as Pinku.
Yes.
Longtime Uni player. I want to say ST start, but it could have been earlier if I don't remember correctly. Has been kind of jumping around characters for a while. Was a more of a like traditionalist set play zoner character, but with that playstyle shifting off in Uni 2, has really like made this Orie work super well. So you'll be seeing over here batpho on the other hand from the southeast rocking that Hyde keto and trying to get things started. But Pinku just early controlling with some standard strike throw pressure, trying to set up Thanatos to be able to get up close and personal. But batpho finding opportunities to space out.
Yeah, walk things out, sent it with the FF, so not able to fight for the cycle. It's thrust CS.
Yeah, that's the early morning checker. The coffee's not hitting just yet right there. Getting a big grid break with that 6B. Should just go for Smart to your Ender. I like the Divine Thrust right there, trying to catch for delay tech.
Yeah. It's a lot of walk forward, walk back, a little shimmy action, just threatening the 5A as well, but once again able to find a hit and secure another cycle.
There we go. Yeah, going for the with A thrust 2-2C set just to guarantee some of that set play goes low and should take that first round.
All right, big meter advantage for Pinku as well, but just going to pull up with the 6-6C.
Ooh. Okay, batpho get a little aggressive with the shielding right here, just finding a lot of opportunities. Get grid broken. Does guard thrust out early, but Pinku quickly coming back in with the divine thrust.
Yeah. Spent the 100 on the guard thrust, but still a little bit of that meter penalty. I mean, your grid break ended pretty early, so it doesn't quite matter, but once again, the Sacred Spire puts us back into the corner like we saw last round, a little 6C low crush action.
It should be enough to put you into a one-touch situation. Ending here with the Thanatos set.
Right, build up 100 for it, but we set up the immediate Thanatos.
Yeah, I like that trying to go for TRM early, but batpho not biting just yet, so this does give you a chance. This Hyde keto in the corner, and while Orie does have DP, does have opportunities to mash out, it can be advantageous. Does back for back to the mid-screen, though.
Yeah, we saw the green shield, but not the opportunity for the third. Grid break, once again, another cycle on the side of Pinku. Batpho has not been able to secure any of these, still trying to weather the storm, maybe going a little more conservative on the shields.
Yeah, you're already seeing this right there. Not trying to bait on any of these throws either, just allowing scroll throws, not going to get TRM. Is able to stay safe, though. Pinku comes right back in and trying to find any opportunity to open up, blocks the overhead, gets the Celestial CS, no DP though. We're just gonna wait, tries to 3C, but the force function gets Pinku out of there.
Yeah, you still have 40 seconds, so you're trying to slow it down. You use the Celestial to get that meter, but it doesn't matter when you secure the round with the 2A Pinku with game number 1.
I like that like little change from Pinku at the very end, knowing just be like, okay, I'm gonna be on the offense trying to open him up, but I'll be willing to go on the defense whenever it comes through, because even a counter hit trade will lead into Pinku's favor for that round right there. And that's a big set right there. Thanatos being a projectile, blowing up that startup with the force function. Now we should be able to get good reward off this as well. Just normal A set, fake overhead right here, but we get a nice jump out of the corner.
Yeah, with the JV, but batpho not gonna let themselves be locked down in the corner for free. The mash out with the 2A.
Yeah, this is good. batpho was looking a little like, just like, coffee not hitting, right?
Exactly,
Needed a little bit of a wake up. But now that we've gotten to that first remember, like, okay, I know what I need to do. Definitely looking hot right now. Good challenge from Pinku to get out of the corner. Trying to challenge in the air, but no normals from either player.
Yeah, he had a big starter with the 5C, but didn't believe in the hit. So now Pinku not only able to escape the corner, but once again find a hit. This combo is going to run down the grid cycle, and it's another cycle for Pinku. Still doesn't have 100 to spend any EX, but one more touch. Even a light confirmed that JACS should do the job, putting Pinku on set. point.
Yeah, getting that Thanatos, then being able to go for the CS to either keep your mix safe or guarantee the kill right there. Just some super, super solid play right here from Pinku.
Yep.
Yeah,
Played a little slow. Okay, catch out the Orbiter with the Thanatos.
yeah, I'm a big fan of doing that. Once you see the Hyde player wants to go a little bit more that projectile zoning style, but you saw them try to use force function early. You saw them trying to throw pizzas out earlier.
Yeah.
But Pinku now challenging their play and able to throw in the corner, getting hit with that overhead. Once again in the final round, this could be putting you into a very scary situation.
Keep the 6B on the stack. The second time we've seen it. Now we're putting you in one-touch territory. Caught you with the 2A, and Pinku takes it with a clean 2-0 and ending it off with a perfect.
It's such a hard mix being able to go for that quick 6B overhead and then keeping yourself safe and then continue to be like, am I going to go for it again? Am I going to go for like an assault? Or just checking in with that 2A low. It's such a hard time, and if you're not super familiar with the Orie player's habits, it can be a little rough.
Yeah, and I think Pinku was doing a good job of just rotating it with like a solid layer 1, right? We showed the 6B early on into the set just to keep it on the mind, and then didn't show it until that final round as well. Like, knows that it's on the mental stack, like, oh, I want to stand so bad, and all of a sudden, these stagger or these delay 2As as well, where you're normally putting in that overhead or like, oh man, you got me. I was looking for it the second time.
Yeah. So definitely some excellent stuff from Pinku going into that. We'll be continuing to move on forward, but like we were saying, these are 32-man pools. I think you have to win 5 games to make it out.
It's insane. Like, normally when you guys tune into like pools and you look at the bracket, you're like, oh, okay, this winner's side is like pretty short, and obviously the loser's a little bit longer. But we're scrolling through and the start.gg on the side, I'm like, where do you qualify out?
Yeah.
So I think you have to win 1, 2, 3 games to guarantee yourself into that top 96, and then the match afterwards is to see if you make it out in winners or losers. So it's still like, you know, a lot of potentially dangerous gamers to try and stay alive in the winner's side.
And each step forward is more dangerous than the previous, right?
Yeah.
I was just talking with somebody right before this started, and we were looking at the post-top 96, and it's like, oh, look, it's projected for Big Black and Tomio to play each other.
Oh, God. Because I think top 96, if I'm not mistaken, ends up like kind of converging your pool.
Yes.
So the pool shuffling does not start at that top cut. So even if you see your pool and you're like, oh, I'm in the pool with Defiant, I'm in the pool with Big Black, but thankfully I'm on the opposite side. If you make it out into that top 96, your troubles are not over just yet. You still got to be able to escape above them.
Yeah, it's definitely, something that you always have to be on point for.
Yes.
And that's also a nice benefit with the top 96 being on Sunday and not being like later today, that every player gets at least that one night of like being able to reset and relax a little to be like, okay, I can prep for this specific matchup to try to go forward. Just like our players hopefully prep for each other on this matchup, as we've got Viszy versus Bloodltr going to be coming up shortly.
Okay. Waiting for those players to come to the stand. I think I see them right in the front of the audience here. Yep. I am curious. So the pools for this weekend at Climax, right, we're kind of split up between Friday and Saturday. And like you said, there are no top cuts until Sunday morning. So, it's definitely a dangerous temptation. The voices being like, you already finished your pools on Friday. Saturday's your pool day. You don't need to prep. You could head up for karaoke. You could get a little K barbecue, the soju on the side, and all of a sudden one bottle turns into 5. But, I'm sure these gamers, especially considering this is the final Climax of Night, are locked in and taking any opportunity to prep that they can. Tuning into the streams, seeing how many casuals they can run just to prep themselves for any potential matchups. And then especially, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of the pools from yesterday had some pretty wild upsets. So I'm sure some folks are scrambling to try and prep and go, oh, I was looking for this matchup, but now all of a sudden, round 1, round 2, like right before, the person I was projected to play now is entirely different.
Yeah, there were multiple major people seeded to make it top 24 winner side who then got upset by somebody out.
Exactly.
And then so I know some people who were prepping for matchups that are like, oh, now I have to fight Vatista, and I wasn't prepared for that.
Exactly.
So it should be exciting to see, but it's also like you said on players kind of booling out today on a little bit. I think you do have to give yourself a little bit of that relaxation, because if you're just too stressed about it, it can definitely cause some issues. But hopefully these two players are relaxed and ready to go. And it looks like, I believe we're going to be actually having Vatista on deck, as well as Seth. These are two players I'm not super familiar with.
Yeah.
Which I gotta say, this is weird for me. I've been coming to Climax for almost half a decade now at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm used to knowing everybody in the room on the uni bracket. I can tell you where they're from, what their dog's name is, what characters they play. And there's so many people, which is great for uni. That's just huge growth. But not knowing everybody is always really, really exciting to see.
Yeah, exactly. And I think one of the catchphrases that admittedly I kind of owe to you and I've stolen in conversation with other folks is, kind of referring to Climax of Night as this family reunion, right? Where so many folks are like, man, I wasn't able to make it out to Combo Breaker, I wasn't able to make it out to Evo, but every single year I make sure I have the PTO, I have the time, the availability to head out to Climax, because I know that's where some of my best friends in the fighting game scene are going to be. But like you're saying, right, especially with the rise of Uni 2 and tournament after tournament, so many folks being like, wait, this game is sick. It's accessible for me to just boot up and play, and there's even more opportunities as we go to try and learn up amongst other beginners. So once again, Viszy versus Bloodltr, the Seth versus Vatista. Viszy draws first blood.
Yeah. Bloodltr trying to play a little bit more of that traditional zoning style, which I think is like pretty good versus Seth, as Seth does have the mobility to get around a lot of the early Vatista stuff that you want to be doing. But you have to see how the Seth player reacts to it and what they want to be doing. Viszy, though, recognizing that they need to be the aggressor in a lot of these early stages, is going to be already putting their pedal to the metal right here. Finding a good 6-2-3C ender. Now Orb set, but we just hit a counter hit. Eating.
Yeah, maybe mashing out, just saying, oh, you want to bait out the flash kick so bad, but still a second counter hit in the row. Now Viszy has you on one-touch territory.
So he be able to maintain the cycle, going to put them into a one-touch situation right here, unless they wanted to CBO. Oh, okay. This doesn't kill, though. You're going to scale too much, right?
CBO into IW. You know, wow, that was so much closer than I thought. I thought it'd be a little bit bigger of a sliver, but still able to find the kill.
That was like literally 30 health, I think. Yeah. Like right at the very end right there. So good stuff on Viszy, though, for being able to keep it control at the very end. Big counter hit Orb.
Object permanence, my beloved. You just run up right past the orb and see if they remember, but Bloodltr trying to, set up something on the screen. Now brought back to the corner we saw last round.
But not able to finish their combo, and recognizing that tech situation, seeing that Bloodltr was just falling down, able to find that good 2C hit, which is one of Seth's best starters right here. Orb set once again. Will we see just blocking?
Ooh, behind the back, scared of the orb, but not caught in time, even with the screen freeze of the CS, building up the meter as we go.
Yeah, Viszy doing a really good job of just playing like a very fundamental Seth. Unfortunately, getting a couple combo drops right here at the very end of Bloodltr. Going to take advantage of that with the flash kick. C-dive coming down, but it's still Bloodletter's turn to try to make something happen. Yeah,
Bloodletter's been having a really hard time kind of bringing Seth back down to earth with any of these anti-air attempts, but now the dash up into 2C caught you trying to jump out of pressure, but still so much health to work through.
I like that up back block, just delaying the set on the TK Orb, trying to go for a tick throw right there, but these players are just trading EX moves back and forth now.
Up back JA, but no way to confirm still. Bloodltr staying alive, 200 meters to your name, but barely any HP. 200 meters isn't going to save you from the 2C as Viszy takes game one.
Yeah, Viszy doing a really good job of just implementing like a micro delay right at the very end right there on their pressure sequence, being able to catch Bloodltr, who was just looking for any kind of hit on those gaps right there, but a big starter for Viszy, unfortunately not able to find the routing that they want, but they will find another big counter hit trade.
Yeah, I mean, whipping the 2B basically lost in the first round once that momentum started. So taking the trade this time already a lot better, but get it to the rebeat. Now we're in the I guess we're not in the corner, but we still get hit.
Nope, but we're right back into there, trying to find opportunities to shield, trying to see if we can lock that cycle in. That's a good start for Bloodltr, unfortunately. Not able to find the route that they're looking for. Viszy, though, going to re-steal that corner or actually go back midstream.
Yeah, spending the CS means you can't fight for the cycle, even if you ended it a little bit early in the flash of the green shield. All right, how are we going to use the CS? Finds a stray hit for Bloodltr, but no clean confirm. No!
Oh, no! Missed a drill reset right there. That would have been so smart of it, but just a little too early, and allowing Viszy to tech out of there and able to steal it back. Crossable once again. This has been the recipe for success. As soon as they're able to get him into this left side corner, able to set the orb cross-ups, that is what Visy's path to success has been through this whole bracket. And we'll see if they can keep it up, or Bloodltr can make this comeback here in the potential final round. Big flash kick.
Just playing it a little bit slower. 2B's not working out, so we're going to wait to try and flash kick, but still behind the back. The trickiness with the dives and the air mobility is really tripping up Bloodltr right now.
Yeah, I do definitely like them playing a little bit more reactive right here, trying to deal with the Seth. Just the willingness to block it out, unfortunately getting hit.
Right there. Sees the red of the assault. There we go.
Right there, dash force function, but Bloodltr trying to find these opportunities to get these hits where they can.
Ooh! Clean pick up behind the back, also gets the orb as well at the counter hit, so still not going to be able to kill with this 100 meter, but we're putting you in one touch. CS still available for Viszy as well.
See, yeah, I like that. Just be a little bit more like belligerent with those flash kicks. You're seeing that Viszy is just kind of going for some standard meaty pressure a lot, so you're going to have the opportunity to make these reversals work and make them, guess right here, 660 force function CSN, but they block the overhead this time. Laser to keep it safe.
Here we go. Still woke the coffee hit, so we block the B-drill. Oh, 5A starter, 100 meter. Oh, especially if we drop into a reset with the gem, but it doesn't matter. We mash out with the 2A as Viszy moves on to the next round.
Yeah, excellent stuff from Viszy right there. Just some really good Seth play, and well, both set play and Seth play.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
There. It definitely felt like once they got him locked down into the corner, they were in that full control. But in that mid-screen space is where Bloodltr was really getting that time to shine, just at like every single moment, finding more opportunities to get those hits where they can. Unfortunately, just couldn't fully convert those hits into like the full routing that they needed to be able to have those rounds swing in their favor. But excellent stuff from both of those players.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially in that first round, I'm kind of calling back to it as well. The big with 2B that immediately started, oh, okay, I'm going to dive. I'm going to bring you over to the corner, where it felt like we were just having, throughout that set, like such trouble, you know, once that orb was set up, trying to find an escape. But as the rounds kind of progressed, like the neutral was getting a little bit slower, looking for these options of, oh, okay, how do I actually snipe Seth out of the sky, whether it's B flash kick. We even saw a little bit of like up back JA or JB as well to try and contest, but you know, not being used to, okay, what's my conversion? What am I actually going to be able to set up off of these stray hits? Still gave Viszy the opportunity to be, okay, I already have the life lead, so I just have to find one dive, one jump in to bring you to the corner once again.
Yeah, one thing I would have really liked to see is more neutral gem set if they could, because there's a lot of times, especially with how Viszy was playing, where they're just willing to commit to things like 6-6C or 6-2-3B in neutral to just have that gem there to be able to pop them as they're coming forward at you. It's something that forces a Seth player to go into the skies a little bit more, which then allows you to be more reactive with your anti-airs. So definitely, you know, like had the right game, like we were saying, Bloodltr really had that right game plan, but just couldn't get that like full execution onto it.
Exactly, and it's scary when you think of Seth as like, you know, this high mobility character where it's like, oh, I don't know if I have the tempo, the frame advantage to, you know, set up this gem in neutral without getting counter it. But because you're never trying it, the effective like zone that you're covering on the screen is, okay, where is B flash kick? Where is, you know, backdash into 2C? Where is like up back into JA? Versus, oh, okay, now I have to worry about if she just does rising JA and all of a sudden half of the top of the screen where I normally feel so comfortable just kind of chilling out and baiting out, you know, an anti-air attempt, all of a sudden is like free reign for me.
100%. Oops. We are checking in right here, making sure our settings are all good on the setups right here. So our players are getting into it.
Yeah, that's a cool shirt. I'm like leaning into the monitor to see what we got. This is like the under the sea button down.
No, those are those mushrooms?
Oh wait, no, you're right. Sorry, I thought they were anemones.
No, I definitely see that. But
yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what the shirt is on the one player side.
I think that's it almost looks like a combo breaker shirt.
Right? It has that kind of vibe to it, but I know I can't see the word combo breaker on it, but it's got that same kind of aesthetic, right? Like a black and white Jet Set Radio type shirt. All right. Gamers up and ready. The coffee is finally starting to hit. They like grabbed it on their way in from the venue, and they're like, dude, I don't know if I have time to drink this before pools. Shout out to the venue for giving a little bit of coffee. I thought I was going to have to like walk down like a little bit further and like, you know, brave the cold in my like sleeping shorts and shirt, but thankfully it was right down in the lobby. I was like, oh, bless.
My roommate was complaining like, oh, I have to go all the way to the Starbucks that's across the way to be able to get
no,
some kind of coffee. And it's like, Well, they said that, and then they came back like 30 seconds later with 2 cups of coffee. I'm like, oh, that was quick.
I really sprinted to the Starbucks. No, I just saw the coffee on the way in. Bless up.
Yeah, our players are sitting down, getting ready to get into it. Not 100% sure on who they'll be locking in right here.
Tabby, can I tell you a pool story about button assignment?
Sure.
So I was playing my pools yesterday at like, I think it was like 1 p.m. And I sit down against my round 1. And I'm like, okay, I set my buttons, I choose my palette, whatever. My opponent is taking a while to like figure out the button assignments. And they're like trying to figure out, oh, what macro should I bind? What am I doing? There's like someone behind them coaching them. I'm like, oh, you should bind this, you should not bind that. I'm like, oh, maybe this is like a new player. Like this should be a fun experience. And then they 2-0'd me clean. I was like, wait, I got mental warfare in button select. Yeah. I got.
Look, if you would have just joined some more beginner tournaments,
maybe maybe I gotta look those up on start.gg.
Yeah. But here we go. Oh, this is Ram. Okay, that's what I thought it is. So Ram is one of the European players that actually came through. Yeah. One of the like honestly strongest players out of Europe, really making this Mika work.
I did not recognize them by face, but as soon as the name and character locked in, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. KMOB, but KMOB? KMOB?
Yeah, KMOB right here with that Merkava. Ooh. Oh, yeah, I don't like this. Being able to use the tornado right there to try to catch the up back on the fireball right there.
Yeah. There you go. Great throw.
Through.
Back down to the ground. Oh, tried to mash a wake up, but still, meaty 5A is going to bring you right back with the steer ender.
And I like that. Just go for a standard meaty, like Mob wanting to just press out, not commit to a big reversal right here. The Ram, though, will commit to see Tornado and find this first round to go into their favor.
Twista. All right. 100 available on both sides, but just going to walk it back. Oh, no. You tried to, just stay right out of range of the Twister follow-up, but once again caught out by Ram.
Down. Yeah, there we go. 2-3-60 coming out from KMOB right here.
Yep.
Doing a good job of just trying to reset to that neutral screen as much as they can, but Ram doing such a good job with challenging on all this pressure.
Yeah, huge whip from the 660, so just slams right behind the back. Okay, stabilize the red B with the A+B.
Yep. Oh, saw the green shield right there, so able to get that guaranteed grid break with that 360.
Once again, to slam the big whip and didn't even need to spend the 200. A strong game one from Ram. And I see the EU crowd cheering in the back.
Yeah, they got the flags out and everything. The boys from EU coming out and really putting out the work right here.
Yeah. Coming out in full force. Big whip from the 6-6B, but ooh, okay. Smashes out in the behind the back. No follow-up on the Mika missile.
Ooh, feint the overhead right there, but Ram not biting on taking a challenge right there. Trying to dash out on their own, but came up, stayed really safe, but Ram turning it back up once again.
Yeah, just barely out of range for the 2B, so immediately ready for the whip punish. Ram starting the party once more.
Yeah, just has the meaty tornado as well, being such a safe option with that meter to keep the Mika missile safe, but we'll toss him out of the corner.
All right, cycle now. Not going to spend any EX, so still going to get caught out here by KMOB.
Yeah. Had that shield as well to try to guarantee it, but KMOB able to regain a little bit more screen space right here. Ram, just the patience right there to allow them to go full screen, knowing that they'll have that better opportunity to challenge as it comes through.
Let's make a missile. Wondering if we got a reset scenario going on. No, instead we just stagger with the 5As, catch out the throw tech. Now Ram with 200 meter on set point.
Yeah, this is a very, very scary thing to do, especially if you're not super comfortable with the Mika matchup.
Yeah.
Mika has a lot of shenanigans she can bring to the table. We were just talking earlier today about being able to do some Mika missile down feint, like fake overhead stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of shenanigans she can bring to the table, so we'll be able to see if KMOB can deal with what Ram wants to be doing. But right now, they're just getting caught with overhead after overhead.
Come on. The reset into the assault, the drop off of the 2A, tries to send out the 5C, but still fighting for your life. No, and once again, the slam behind the back. We've seen it once, twice, and now thrice to seal the round as long as we confirm it to the IW. Ram moves on with a clean 2-0.
Yeah, some excellent play there from Ram. Just always felt like they were on point against everything that KMOB was wanting to be doing, and just showing the clinic and what you need to do to secure yourself one step forward to making it out of this pool.
Exactly. You can even see KMOB on the side. It's like, what do I do against that? It's like,
Yeah.
Mika's a funny character.
Listen,
Silly little gal.
There's only a handful of Mikas in North America that like play that character at a super high level. So if you're not actively looking out for them or able to like just be fortunate that they're in your region and you can play them regularly, it can be a little rough until you get to that point of learning that matchup.
Yeah, exactly. I think of Moth. I know Oridude played Mika for quite some time, but is a little bit inactive these days as far as uni goes. But still a little bit hard to find that matchup experience unless you're actively looking for it, right? So very easy to get tripped up, especially against the player of the caliber of Ram.
Yes, 100%. And speaking of player with the caliber of Ram, like I said, one of the strongest players coming out of EU, making the trip all the way to Climax. Once again, trying to get their Arc World Tour qualifier.
That's true. Yeah.
It's something that we talk about this event. We talk about the prestige of it, and I always forget. It's like, oh yeah, this is a qualification of the Arc World Tour top 8.
Yeah, exactly. I was looking at the streams earlier, or yesterday rather. I was just looking at the sponsors. I was like, why is Cygames sponsoring Climax of Night? And then I was like, oh wait, I gotta remember this is a platinum stop, so an auto qualifier for whoever ends up taking the bracket home here for Climax of Night F.
Yeah, and that's why, like, with the players that we have sitting down right here, I believe this is Ryu.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So we're going to see some Orie in just a little bit.
Yeah.
But I wonder who the opponent is. I would assume this is probably like the winners round 2, so maybe Lueris, maybe see Rakestraw. I'll see.
This is not Rakestraw.
Oh, okay.
Rakestraw, fortunately, I know it's not because they're my local.
Yeah.
So I know that.
So probably still their winners round 2 right now.
Yeah.
Haven't gotten that far into the bracket just yet.
This is versus Dremark right here.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like Dremark also going to be playing that Izumi up here, the first one that we've been able to see of the tournament. But Ryu, one of the no, I'll be a little brash. Probably the strongest Orie in Japan there. Definitely showing a lot of Orie players within the West look towards what Ryu is doing to be like, okay, how do we play this character at the fullest efficiency? Because you'll see Japan rate this character so strong, and Ryu is the reason why that is.
So this is kind of like the platonic ideal of the character. And I think, when we see tier lists from overseas, right, I think we forget that sometimes like certain regions value character strength versus like what is the peak of this character that we've seen at the highest level. But once again, Izumi back onto the stand. 6B works out this early in the morning. You might as well check it early.
You see Ryu just playing very patient, trying to make sure they can have as much of this grid control as they possibly can, as Dremark now tries to get a little bit more tempo, but Ryu getting those last couple shields, able to guarantee themselves the cycle, and immediately spending it so that they have 100 meter, because as soon as they land a hit like this, then they can lead into C-Thanatos. Unfortunately, not able to finish their combo right there.
Yeah. Couple shields to try and steal the cycle back, but once again, Dremark finds the hit. Stand block into the slide, but still the mash out on the awkward scramble.
Thanatos set right here. Should be able to go for, whiff into 2-2-C right here. Catches up with the overhead. We saw Pinku doing this exact same thing earlier, and that is a clear recipe for success. Just Thanatos high-low. Can they react to it? But Dremark wants to VO out.
Yeah, tried to go for the beat, then to set and grab you right before it started out, but down to spend the meter. I mean, you got one hit on Ryu, but all right, another plus frame's going to be enough. Look at the grid that we're getting from just patiently down backing, looking for one more opportunity to strike.
Yeah. But ryu-orie using that classic defensive style that they have right there. Got green shield, but a good CS right there to keep themselves safe, not going to get grid broken, and able to secure the round as well.
Exactly. Didn't want to spend it on the guard thrust, go into the next round with the meter advantage, and still able to survive off of it.
Yeah. Their Dremark really just trying to make everything work, able to get those 2-2X sets with the fish right here, and now finally able to get their own party started.
Yeah, I wonder what we were looking for with the 3B there. Dremark's still so far across the screen. Now we set the fish. We got Elephie ready.
Yeah. But Ryu, just like the patience to wait and just even walk themselves back into the corner has been working out very strong for them. But Dremark did a really good job using EX bubbles right there to be able to catch him out right here. And
we saw there was no shield on the block steer ender, so we're like, you know what, we're going to double down. Let's go EXDP just to try and keep our turn. And look at how much meter we still have.
Ooh. Yeah, I like that CS, but Ryu already just had the patience to be able to guarantee themselves that frame trap right there, so.
Frame trap, C thrust, just barely built 100, but not going to spend it just yet. The whip frame kill into the 2A counter hit. Keep it clean with the CVO as we take game 1 for ryu-orie.
Yep. Ryu doing a great job of just keeping it simple. 3 buttons into 3 buttons. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
And that's what we're doing right here. Dremark, though, looking to get their footing started in the match. They definitely have the right idea. Force function out, though, and Elephie going to be out to party right here. Good challenge with the 2A.
Ooh, big whip from the green shield, just a little bit too far off that 2B, but grid break into the low.
Yeah, Dremark finally getting a read onto Ryu's habits. They've been getting away with a lot of these green shields for free.
Yeah.
And able to just like push them out. So finding the opportunity to catch them low, get that guaranteed grid break, able to control the cycle. It is very huge for Izumi. Good recognition on the green shield right there.
There we go. Spent a lot of meter to keep the block string up, but able to find the grid break. So that meter penalty ends up paying dividends.
Elephie set right there. But a good challenge from Ryu, but Dremark should be able to close out the round right here as long as they keep things simple.
There we go, round on the board, and pretty commanding round at that. Even in the meter situation though, walk it back, but no, tries to put out a button to catch out the charge thrust.
Ender, Thanatos goes overhead once again.
Yeah, no need to swap it up and go to layer 2.
Yeah, they've
go right up the brain.
Good shields right here from Dremark, though, able to find an opportunity to push him back. And Ryu just walking back. Once again, that is something that worked out so well for them in the previous set, but Dremark did a really good job of pressuring them for that. Unfortunately, not going to work out this time, and Ryu should be able to close it up with one more touch.
Maybe a little greedy, right? You know you still have one more round ahead, but ends up spending it either way.
Yeah.
And there we go, the IWEX.
Yeah, I don't hate that IWEX as well. Just also covers as a throw tech OS. If they go for run-up throw, catch them as an anti-air, you'd have to kind of hard bait it right here. They're going to get some good damage on the board. Bubble coming through, but we'll just pop that CS immediately for Ryu as we come in close. Has to spend more meter to try to find more opportunities. Good block on the overhead, but you can't check the second one.
Exactly. Well, strong in the grid cycle, but I mean, you still had so much more health to try and work your way through. Knew that JA would be lethal. Now Ryu on set point.
Stagger once again. Great challenge from Dremark with that 5A.
All right, little mash out in the bubbles. Ooh, and you get the, it was an awkward pickup at the timing of the, fish coming back up.
Backs off, allows ryu-orie to get a 5A. Press out right here, resets them out to the midstream with a couple hits, and now we get that run-up throw. Potentially a good start, but EX bubbles coming through for Dremark once again.
There we go, stop the 660 in its tracks. Dremark with the life advantage, but still catching out the thrust.
Very good right here. Recognizes the red mist of death. Pops that DP right here. Now ryu-orie just keep it a little bit more standard stagger pressure. Recognize that Dremark wants to be a little more aggressive on some of these Abare options. So try to make it work. Force function going to be working out for them after the post-CS situation.
Yeah, it was clean blocks off the Thanatos set. We got the cross through for the plus frames. Just able to set up the fish. Looking for some green shields from Ryu. It's looking rough. You don't have the 100 meter available, but you have CS. One more touch could be enough if it's a solid starter.
Yeah, we'll have to find it. Oh, goes for a delay right there into the Ranbu. So able to keep him going. Good staggers right here. And grid broken right at the very end. And it's ryu-orie taking it 2-0.
It was a solid amount of hope. You can even see Ryu batting him on the back. It was like, it was a strong fight. I was scared in that second game and able to see he's like patting the chest. He's like, all right. Even in round 1, even in round 2, it's solid and stiff competition coming out here at Climax of Night. So I'm glad to see a little bit more Izumi. I know we also have an Izumi qualified in top 96 already in Tama from yesterday. So
so Tama's been on Izumi the whole tournament.
Yeah, I think so. So I know Tama, has kind of bounced around between a bunch of different characters in the cast, you know, especially we know him for being very strong in the Eltnum, I think, who we played a lot of last year. But yeah, I think it's been an only Izumi run, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see a little bit more of that character coming tomorrow morning.
There's a couple people who have been doing that. I know rurikk is doing the same thing.
Oh,
He's
really?
going to be walking Izumi the entire tournament.
Oh, okay. Did he play yesterday, or is he?
He plays at the 1 p.m. after this block.
Oh, so you guys are going to see a little bit more Izumi, I'm sure. All right. Oh, but I'm okay. I saw Rex sit down. I was like, wait, is Rex in bracket? And then I realized no, he's just like the game lead. He's making sure everything is all good for these players as we wait for our next set.
Yeah, I think they just had to fix a couple settings on there to just make sure that everything's up to the standards.
Shout out to the TOT and the production team as well, making sure that we can have a good old time hanging out here on the commentary desk, bringing you, once again, these first matches of the second day of pools of Climax of Night Uni 2.
It is crazy to feel like it's only the second day. It feels like there's already been so much action this whole weekend.
Exactly.
And there's a bunch more action to be coming out through the rest of the day. We do only have this block and next block of Uni for pools, but later tonight we also have the Hot Ones exhibition.
Dude, I hope you guys are excited. I saw that on the schedule, and I got surprised by it. Like, I didn't hear anyone talking about it. It was kind of under wraps until I saw that schedule, and I was like, wait a minute. This might be heat. So if you guys want a little bit more entertaining Uni action, even outside of the main bracket, you guys better tune in tonight.
Yep, absolutely. Should be very, very exciting. As well as, throughout the later day, if you like other French board games, we have the Dengeki top 8 that's going to be happening later on. We got the pools matches happening on the other side. And then for Lumina, I believe, is also today?
I believe so. You guys can check the schedule on the Climax of Night Twitter just to make sure. I know, I think it's MBAC pools going on right now, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, wait, that might be Type Lumina pools. I saw Akimi on commentary, and I was like, oh, yeah.
That's Lumina.
It is Lumina. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Good to know. So we have that on the other stream as well, so make sure to tune in for all the Climax of Night action across all these awesome French bread games.
Yep. But up next, we're going to be having Chillager versus Hard Bread.
This is a very... this is two sides of the spectrum in terms of vibes in the names. Right? We got Chillager, and we got Hard Bread in all caps, by the way. If you guys haven't checked out the bracket, we're just, pulling up here with another Orie. It looks like we have our first Akatsuki of the morning.
Yes. Hardbread is someone who I'm blanking on what their other tag is.
Yeah.
But they're someone who's been around the block for a while.
I see.
They've been playing these games for a hot minute. I want to say they're up towards you.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah. But someone who's been playing Akatsuki for a long time, so definitely has some of that legacy knowledge going to be coming through Chillager. On the other hand, not super familiar, but they're rocking that Orie, that character that we've been seeing a lot of strength with on stream so far. We'll see if they can keep it up right now.
Yeah, just pick up off the frame trap. All right, clean throw tech though. First cycle over to Hard Bread.
Yeah, great staggers right there, finding some counter hits, trying to just get like an early read on exactly what Chillager wants to be doing on some of this pressure sequences right here. But right now, Hardbread just trying to create those opportunities and not able to find it.
Yeah, we weren't able to find the pickup off the 6-6C, so now Chillager fighting back, but a big whip on the C thrust.
Yeah, and great recognition to just DP out of there, not have to hold anything. Pops that C Fireball to utilize those plus frames to get up close. This is where Aka wants to be.
Okay, charge thrust. We have the CS as well, but again, another throw tech secures second cycle for Hardbread.
Yeah, tried to delay it to go for TRM, but Hardbread not biting just yet.
Yep. Back down to the ground, walk it back 5B.
Yeah.
Love the CS, just trying to look for the reversal option there off the Sacred Spire.
Yeah, it just goes for a run-up throw. I really like that charge Fireball into CS right there to catch a lot of what Orie wants to be doing, because she will try to use those anti-projectile moves out of there.
Yes.
But you can actually be in the air and then double jump over them to get out of it. So some good recognition on Hardbread to be able to get ready for whatever Chillager wants to bring. But right now, they're just playing a little more patient, and Chillager are going to recognize that and be able to turn up the aggression on their end.
Yeah, you saw we tried to back out to the full screen, charge up the Fireball, and play that projectile war, but immediately the jump backs, the jump ins rather, that's VO out from Hardbread.
Did have to spend it all right there. Gets a BDP, so we'll need to find some opportunity to spend that meter. Not going to find it just yet, as C Thanatos comes down and catches them for trying to throw a Fireball out full screen.
And when the stagger on the toes as well, the 2A should be able to build up the 100, but not if we drop. Scary thrust.
Good presser right there. Chillager just staying patient, not wanting to bite, not wanting to get counter hit like what happened early in the first round.
Yep. Ooh, run up 2C. Interesting, the whip, the pickup at 60 as well. We're going to bring you to the corner with an A-B ender.
Guard thrust out, though. Hardbread just staying patient, not trying to do anything too aggressive, knowing that they don't have the life lead to make these big mistakes right here. Big thrust right there, but no challenge. Parry will connect this time.
All right, use the CS. So cycle finally going over to Chillager, but caught you with the C Fireball.
Yeah, unfortunately, couldn't find the pickup that they were looking for. Good tech out right there.
Gotta make something happen. It's the life lead for Chillager. 20 seconds on the clock, but the jump in is clean from Hardbread, securing game 1.
Yeah, that's showing a little bit of that, like I said, I'm not super familiar with Chillager, but that legacy uni knowledge, the knowing of like, okay, I can just run this clock down and eventually I'll find the opportunity to crack you out.
Exactly, yeah.
So, great stuff from Hardbread right there. We'll see if they can keep it up, but a big 660 early. Didn't go for fast fireball, so not able to fully connect it. And Chillager had the shield on the overhead, but decided to not punish.
Yep. On the J6C for the pick up here. Back to the corner, the other corner that we were looking for. And now close enough for the confirm, but still off of the 660. Chillager finds the mash and the scramble.
Yeah, they did a great job of going for that air shield right there to guarantee themselves the anti-air.
Yep.
And now going to be able to utilize that by pushing Hardbread close to the other corner on the other side of the screen. And now catches him with a slow overhead on that 6B, but not able to find the extension.
Ooh, but there we go. One more counter hit here for Chillager in the corner. We have so much meter we might as well spend, but ends up resetting a little early into the Thanatos. And now this should be a clean kill confirmed. You have CS to get some of that meter back as we spend with the Sacred Spot. Oh!
Yeah, not enough. You need a little bit more. We'll just catch him with a 2A. Hardbread knows, like, yeah, you should have had that. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
He said, I was living on borrowed time. It's fine. Bring me over to the next round, but caught on the assault.
No Tatsu connection right there, and Chillager finding the Divine Thrust into the Thanatos summon, but fortunately not able to make it fully work just yet.
Yeah, so many of these solid starters just barely whiffing for the spacing or just being a little bit too late, but if one Tatsu doesn't work, let's send it with a second. Jump over to the other side with J2C.
The third time was almost the charm right there for Hardbread, but now just finding more opportunities to go for icy fireballs. But Chillager with these great challenges and Hardbread almost respecting them like preemptively, just trying to block out. Does pop a VO though to lock him down to the corner, and this is a very scary situation.
Dash, so ahead on the cycle, so you're going to have to risk it all on some shields to try and find the punish, but you shielded the AB. No punish and still locked down in the corner. You're just waiting patiently for the cycle.
Yeah, be able to maintain Celestial, so you could, if you got one hit, deal a truckload of damage. But Hardbread going to recognize that and know, like, hey, I've got to try to do whatever I can to get you out of it. Throws to keep that down. Chillager, you need to spend it right here if you can, but you're going to go for a crouch shield, and that's going to give Hardbread the grid break to close out the round.
Yeah, I really like the way we structured that like end of round pressure because we knew we had 200 on the side of Chillager, so we didn't want to lock into, you know, this mid-range fireball pressure and risk getting caught by Sacred Spire. Just stick with 3 throws. Now on set point, but Chillager looking to tie up the set. Once again, we set the Thanatos for a C or EX spend, but Hardbread fights back.
Yeah, was able to, find that overhead, but not able to find the ender that allowed you to keep it safe. So Hardbread got a good 2A challenge to lock him down once more. Almond's activated by up backing in the corner right there with the JA, but Hardbread keeps it confirmed.
Oh, there we go. From the corner and running down the cycle timer as well. This should be a clean cycle. CS available, but strips it with the VO.
I like that Thanatos summon as well, just to control that mid-screen a little bit more, force you to go back into that neutral situation where Chillager has been a lot stronger. Parry 6C. This should be a big amount of damage coming through. Hardbread has the 200 meter on deck. Can you keep it tight with the IW confirm after the Smart Seer Ender? That should be Hardbread taking it 2-0 over Chillager.
Keep it simple, keep it consistent with the A, B, I, W, and especially, considering that first, 2-3 rounds where some of these really solid hits were just barely getting dropped, having a solid confirm to seal it out gives you a little more confidence as you move into the next round of winner's side.
Excellent, excellent stuff right there.
All right, we already have the next set pulled up. They were like, all right, move over. It's time for a little bit of more Uni 2 action. Is this Flankroast, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah,
okay, so we're going to see some Vatista.
Yeah, it should be some Vatista. I saw them even talking, like, I ran with them earlier, and they were talking about, like, man, I'm just waiting for the Skullgirls bracket to start.
Wait, that's so sick. Dude, I have not played Skullgirls, I think, in, like, 1 or 2 years. I was just mashing on it in the BYOC area. Yeah. I felt so much whimsy. I kept trying to active tag my assist, and I'm like, no, it was a time before active tag. And I also tried to remember like how to like hard tag my characters out. It felt like relearning how to walk again, but it was so fun. I was just mashing on Philia. It was awesome.
But yeah, we are going to Flankroast up coming in with that Vatista versus AzureUnderNight.
Is Seth right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Azure has technically played a couple different characters, but Seth is the one that they've locked in the most.
Okay. All right, there we go. So we saw this matchup earlier on, right? The Vatista versus Seth, where the Vatista earlier was having a little bit of trouble, establishing the space, whether it was through gem sets or, looking for some of these air-to-airs. So I wonder how Flankroast is going to, swap things up as we head into the next installment of the same matchup.
Yeah, a big thing with Flankroast is Flankroast is a lot more committal to the mix-up style of Vatista, right? Not as willing to just, like, you see them going for, like, fireballs and some zoning right here, but immediately, as soon as they are able to recognize that screen space, they're like, okay, I'm going to come in, I'm going to set up these pressures, and I'm going to try to you know, catch you with these TKB drills, catch you with these juicies, try to find things like that 5C able to hit right there, but unfortunately not able to extend off of it, not able to get the green shield punish, but we'll still find a throw where they can.
Yeah, the slow dash from Vatista, even though you see the solid green off of the CS, not able to capitalize, but caught out here with the fastball low.
Yeah, and this is, Azure is playing this Seth matchup perfectly, where you have to respect the Vatista a little bit, but you can find these opportunities to use this trickier air movement to open them up, catches them with the unblockable off the V-dive right there, but a great throw on the run-through. Not going to get mixed up just yet. These throws are working great for Flankroast so far.
Exactly. Aerial into throw. He said, I could do that too with the whip assault, but so tricky. Able to avoid, but ends up being a misinput on the C laser on the jump back.
Yeah, not sure if that's what they were looking for. They're
Maybe
trying to
C flash kick, right? I
Yep.
don't know. Hard to say.
Hard to say indeed, just like it was hard to say with that flash kick coming out right there, that Azure able to utilize the force function orb to change that gravity pull and allow them to close out round number 1.
Yeah. Man, tricky on the side swaps. If not for Mix, maybe getting tricked up on the inputs, but looking for the anti-air laser to see if Azure is looking for a round start jump.
Let's see right here. Early start going back in Azure's favor once again. And this time command grabs will be working out for them. Just choosing to go for orb set and actually pops an install right here. So this should be good as soon as that next orb comes through. Not able to blow it up like you want to.
Yeah. Ended up clashing, still getting thrown into the corner once again. Okay.
That's how, yeah, and I like that. Just the delay 2C press, a lot of that normally only pressing in this situation are going to be a little slower, so you get some advantage for going for that very, very efficient sweep. I got hit.
That's what I'm saying. We got the double orb. We had CS to pick up afterwards, and a clean round 2 secures game number 1 for AzureUnderNight.
Azure looking clean right now. Flankroast, though, like definitely I think has the right core game plan they want to be doing. They just are losing these like one interaction hits that Azure is just full swinging the tempo into their favor. So we'll have to see if they can keep that up.
Yeah. We're also seeing the FF stance a little bit more as well from Flankroast, right?
Yep.
Threaten the flash kick. If not, it's laser in the face, but still, first clean hit of the round going out to Azure.
Orb set once again, but we catch him with the 2FF right there. The ba-ba-ba-ba.
Ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay. 2C pickup into the gem once again for 3K. Ooh, and the run-up B-drill as well.
Yeah, now being able to see, like, okay, it's my time. I got to be able to play my game a little bit more. Gem set. It worked one time. Let's do it again.
Let's do it. My time. I'm in. But we didn't build up the 200 to quite find the kill, but we want all that meter going into round number 2. Flankroast is back, baby.
Yeah, Azure had the right idea to shield on the JC in right there, but unfortunately shielded the second to last hit, not the last hit, so was not able to get the anti-air shield punish that they were looking for right there, which allowed Flankroast to close out the round.
Exactly. Just the difference of a fraction of a second could have turned it on its head, but 200 meters, so it's fully loaded guns on both sides, but Flankroast running down the grid timer, it's first CS of the round.
And that is what Flankroast wants. They want you to constantly be making those decisions just a little bit too late so they can open you up.
Oh, okay, it's fine. Daijobu. All right, we get a little trade, so back to the scramble once again, just tricking and flipping and flopping.
Yeah, I love that. Just up back, be able to clear out the orb where they can. Great challenge with the 2A right there.
There we go. We're able to escape, and we build up the 200 for it as well. As long as we link it to the IW, we're tying it up 1 apiece.
Yeah, excellent stuff from Flankroast. Definitely trading back and forth of what these players' ideologies are in this game, of exactly how they want to be piloting these characters. So we will have to really see what does Azure do to adapt to this, because they kind of, like, first game, able to have full tempo control. Second game, not able to really get their own game plan started. We saw dives not connecting. We saw command grabs not webbing. We saw the Abares coming out from Flankroast with the perfect timing. We'll have to see what they can do to change it up, but right now Flankroast in control once again with an early 6-6C.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it's the FF stance to threaten what the next follow-up is, whether it's up backs coming out from Flankroast to contest the skies, or even the 6-6C, now Azure just getting in is not what we need, but still the punish on the dive.
Yeah, being able to utilize command dash a little bit more. The feint on the 6C right there, allowing the orb to connect on the block stun, almost was nice, but that challenge was even nicer right here. Azure not able to finish their combo, though. Yeah,
it was a big whip on the 6-6C, so that should have been a lot of damage, but able to find the flash kick here. CS for a little pickup as well.
Yeah, being able to set gem as well, at least to be able to go for high-low. That was crouch shield was very scary, but fortunately you got rewarded for it.
Just barely able to survive. There we go. Grid broken once again in the corner here. JFFCS. We run up with the assault, but it's BO to escape. Still a rough life lead.
No pop into air C orb on any of that pressure. Was expecting Flankroast to just be buffering that TP, so didn't want to have to deal with it. And Flankroast going to be closing it out right at the very end.
Okay. And look at the meter advantage as well.
Yeah, you can already see, like, very early wanted to go for C laser, but Azure already ready for it with that creeping edge, able to 3D in and challenge appropriately.
A little roll, a hard call out when he saw all that meter going into the round. The stagger off of the 5A. Azure wants to bring us the final game, final round, but you still got a few more hits to do it. Set the orb once more, FF style.
Oh, tried to go for a grab. Unfortunately, give a whip, so had the CS to be able to keep yourself safe.
Yeah.
Still has FF stance on the orb as well, so can set it up after this hit right here to be able to guarantee one more orb.
Oh, behind the back, you still got to watch out for the orb, but you still got to watch out for Seth. The perfect brings us the final game, final round with fully loaded guns and 200 meter in the tank.
It is anyone's game from the start right here. Both players just going to the skies, knowing that on the ground is very dangerous for both of them. The run-up going for fast fall right there for Azure. Not going to work out just yet. Flankroast able to challenge and trying to mix him up left-right, but Azure not holding it, going to get caught with the flash kick.
There you go, beautiful awareness, just looking for the anti-air tie in the sky, but still finds the air-to-air. No confirm, that's a second big drop from Azure, and we dive and get punished with a 2A.
Yeah, Flankroast just having that right perfect timing to be able to hit the landing, recovery of the dive right there with that 2A. Azure, though, setting down a little bit slower, knowing like, okay, we're going a little too fast, we're going a little too hectic. I can't be doing that because I'm going to get flash kicked just like that. And Flankroast ready for it, able to get the side swap as well.
Exactly, this is so good. Able to get the corner off of the splash kick CS, even though it's only 1.5, the positional advantage matters so much. Any hit should be the kill with so much meter, but it doesn't matter. We get counter hit dive. We are alive for one more interaction.
Yeah. Seth trading off a little bit of that low health right here, but now trying to trade off some of that damage. Catches across it, but not able to open him up. Still able to keep safe, though. Sea Orb coming through. Got throw baited, so Flankroast is choosing the VO, gets rid of the orbs, gets rid of the pressure, and gives them all the time in the world. Potential C laser, but the 2C comes out from Azure.
Yeah, you cannot be dropping now. You need to run down this VO timer to avoid any of these metered options, any of the extra grid game, and still running it on the timer on the cycle as well. Azure should be able to build up 100 off of this next hit. Tries the throw bait with the assault, but the orb's not enough, and neither is the throw.
Yeah, you have CS though, so you should be able to see VO right at the very end right here. You should be able to guarantee the round. That's going to be Azure, ending with the IWEX, taking the set 2-1 over Flankroast.
What a barn burner. Down to the wire. It was looking all in Azure's favor in game number 1, but Flankroast rose to meet him in game number 2. So bringing it down to the wire, that final hit was absolutely terrifying, but what an electrifying end to the set.
What a just a wonderful match. Just the constant trade-offs back and forth. Both players playing UnderNight at their peaks right there.
Yeah. Just seeing so many, different adaptations where it was like, okay, how am I trying to stop you in the skies? Oh, okay, if stopping you, proactively with B flash kicks or trying to set out some of these gems or normals isn't working out, what if I just slowly move myself just a little bit farther back to make sure some of these dives are whipping? And like you mentioned, right, the, catching the landing recovery of the dives and getting our party started when we finally, have our knockdown, but still so down to the wire. That's a set that I want to go back and rewatch, and we're barely even out of pools just yet.
We're still in the middle of it.
Exactly,
that's not even close to like, oh yeah, this guy's, they have one more and then they're done. No, they're in the thick of it trying to play.
It was like halfway through. So any of the action that you guys have missed, I mean, even if you're just tuning in for the first time this morning, we already had an entire, day of Pools Box yesterday. So make sure to check out some of that action as well. But make sure to stay tuned because we still have an absolute barn burner coming up next. 2 of my goats. Our next set is going to be NegaReaper versus Gravyjones.
Oh my goodness. This is... funnily enough, like 2 people on the polar opposite ends of the spectrum of their play styles, right? Yeah. Gravyjones, you may know him more from his plus R success playing that Zappa, but is a Merkava player in this game and is willing to just kind of sit at full screen and play a more like slower paced game, try to hit you with Merkava's far normals, try to make a worm work in that neutral situation. Reaper, on the other hand,
he's freaky.
He's freaky indeed. Able to playing Tsurugi in this version, a character that has like really molds to his playstyle in fighting games to like a perfect success. Reaper had a lot of success in Type Lumina with that more like hyper-aggressive playstyle, and Tsurugi definitely fits that right mold for him and has been giving him a lot of success in both online and offline tournaments. So this is a matchup I was really wanting to see between these two, and I'm glad that we're able to catch it.
I saw them come up out of the corner of my eye, and I had to like hold my excitement. I was like, let's go. This was like a dream stream match. And, if we have the word cloud, right, of describing NegaReaper's playstyle, we think of belligerent, we think of silly, and we especially think of like reset heavy styles, right? Where you're like, oh no, he dropped the combo and all of a sudden he's going into another 6C, but unafraid to hold the armor as well, right? One other thing that we have to look out for as we head into game number 1.
Yeah, and just like you're talking about right there, able to hold that armor, willing to commit to a couple dashes in, knowing that Gravy wanted to play a little bit more reactive, and as soon as they get up close, they know it's their time to switch the tempo up to show that they are the beatdown. Big early throw, has the cycle as well, but a tech out from Gravy.
Yep. Run up scoop, 2 throw techs, and he just crouches right under the YOLO BDP. It was such a strong start to the round. Now all of a sudden the momentum is entirely reversed.
Yeah, and this is what Gravy was kind of looking for, even being able to use the air 236 right there to be able to check on the creeping edge that was coming out from Reaper to try to escape from this corner as the pressure is very scary. J2C not going to connect.
And just waiting for the 2B on the way back down. I wonder if Reaper was trying to look for a jump back. Either way, still got CS to try and escape here, but we set the 2-2C.
Yeah, gets the air shield, but able to keep it safe with the worms down. So Tech able to clear him out. Good Tech on the 214C.
Looking for a little TRM action, but no shield to be seen. Gravy able to secure cycle. There we go. Fade away with the fireball, and CS on the armor stance.
Yeah. And able to use dive kick as well to get out from under, not having to deal with any of the Tsurugi pressure, and able to challenge him from the backside accordingly. Worm set into the mid screen with a 2-2C, but we'll just pop that VO, get out of here.
Yeah, fine to spend 100 for 100 here, and tries to send it with some more plus range. 2-3-6C with the scoop, but you still got mad life to work through 6C.
Yeah, the big overhead right there, but not able to finish it. Tried to reset like you were talking about before, but Gravy ready to just be patient on that. Finds the run up with the assault, but not able to close it out.
Check the timer as well. 15 seconds on the clock. As long as you get a clean confirm. No! Goes for the throw. It's still not enough for the life lead, but still the poke out. The deep dash 5A. It's a bittersweet smile on Gravyjones' face.
These guys are just trading plays back and forth. 4B, the God button right there. Challenging the ICJTC right there. Woo.
Okay, and we're going to send it with the EXDP as well. Next hit should build up 100.
Yeah, and I like that stagger, and Gravy recognizing that how frequent Reaper has been trying to go for throws in a lot of these pressure sequences, knowing that they can go for dive kick OS to be able to cover that out right there.
There we go. We got CS available as well. Keep it simple with the flight. Are we going to bust out with the DP? No, we tried to bust out with the creeping edge, but 3D is not what we need. Gravy catching you and tying up the rounds.
Gravy is so good at playing that exact spacing to be able to cover those 3Ds as they're coming through.
Yeah.
And it's something that not every Merkava is really wanting to be doing. So potentially Reaper going to have to find those adaptations that they'll need. Great challenge with the low right there, recognizing the armor dash is going to be coming through.
Stellar defense from Gravyjones to weather the storm. Still wasn't enough for the cycle, but still floating to the skies and playing tricky around, holding on this stance, but grid break coming out for Reaper.
Set to a 4C. To be able to just get the spacing that they want. 2-3-6C not going to connect, but able to stay safe afterwards with that quick recovery. Reaper, though, challenging appropriately.
Yep. Able to find you on the other side. Not able to find a punish on that 2-2-6C, but either way, we find the 4.6. Oh, tries to mash out, but 5B gets counter hit. Gravy with the reversal of fortune.
Yeah, being able to use the extended hitbox right there with that 2B. So able to challenge. Good CS right there to try to get out of the corner, but Gravy already ready to VO to try to lock you back down. CS as well to keep yourself safe. And right at the end of that VO recovery as well, so able to keep some of that meter back.
Yeah. Should be seen off of that CS. So once again, waiting for the next cycle. Gets caught out here. Reaper. Game number 1. Yeah,
Gravy was doing such a good job of blocking, doing such a good job of shielding out of those pressure sequences, but Reaper recognizing it's like, okay, you can try to win the cycle right here to keep yourself alive, but I'm just going to keep throwing overhead because you will have to deal with it.
Ooh. Yeah. There we go. Kick flip over behind the back. Finds the first blood of game number 2. Back down the corner for you. No. Big whiff.
Yeah, now a big 6-6C right here for Gravy. Able to challenge at those larger spaces that Reaper's not as comfortable with. The Tsurugi VO's out. I really like this from Reaper, just the willingness to just get rid of Worm with any means necessary, because they know holding it means death.
Yeah. There we go. We found the slam. Delay on the flight, but once again, showing a lot of 3D from Reaper.
Yep. Big whiff dive kick right there, trying to catch them with the reaction high shield, which ended up working, so able to use that crouching B.
Yeah, didn't quite get the pick up with the 6-6B, but it's fine. We still have corner. CS to avoid the shield follow-up, but he can still stay in the stance, but catches you with a counter hit dive kick.
Yeah, Gravy's dive kick timings have been so on point in this round right here, being able to constantly catch Reaper in these uncomfortable situations.
Yes. Ooh, 6-6B.
Yeah, a round start that we haven't seen come out from Reaper just yet. A very strong tool into the Tsurugi kit that has the proper call and response, but the opponent has to be ready for it.
Yep. All right, lots of meter from Gravyjones, and we're going to spend it on the reversal, of course.
Yep. And we got those combos as well to be able to get the maximum amount of damage out of it.
Maximum corner carry too. Look, we basically went coast to coast off of the 100 meter. No. All right.
3D finally working out for Reaper, and as soon as they're able to make a connection, Gravy trying to shield of their own to keep themselves safe, but Reaper getting the big grid break throw, and now able to add a bunch of extra damage on top of it.
Ooh. Caught you with the scoop. CS still available as well. Walk it out. Don't need to do anything too crazy. I saw the red. I was wondering if we were going to go for a dive kick, but instead Reaper now on set point.
Yeah, Gravy was trying to change it up to use the flight just to reset back to the full screen, but Reaper able to utilize that stance, auto-correcting at that moment for perfect timing.
Face down. All right, lots of good shields on the 236C, but still gets throw baited here.
There we go. Oh, an unfortunate side swap. I don't think that was what Reaper was looking for. That's going to give Gravy a chance to find a big 260 reversal right here.
Yep. Once again, we know he's got those. It's the coast-to-coast off the reversal. Still lots of meter for it afterwards, too. Now we're looking for the 3D as well. Gravy just looking for a lot of these staggers. CSJ2C, but still the backup of Gravyjones, the anti-air punches.
Oh, being able to have that 623B connect and still land in time with the 2C on the worm to guarantee the routing right here.
Yeah.
This is some excellent stuff coming out from Gravy. Good shield zone. Reaper not going to give Gravy the free chance to pressure afterwards.
There we go. Big slam should build up the 200, but you want to save a... Oh, no, never mind. No, but not able to confirm the kill.
Tech's out and then immediately challenging with the 6-6B right here. This is big for Reaper. You get a ton of damage off this, can be able to get those life totals up a little bit closer, and you are still on that set point. Gravy has to make this big comeback.
Yeah, and because of Vorpal refund, right, we still have the 100, so you're threatening any of these 236s. You're threatening a TRM off 214, and it's 30 seconds left on the clock. Gravy, can we weather the storm? Can we find one reversal to put us on game 3? CS and finds the 2B. We still got one more in us.
Yeah, excellent stuff from Gravy right there. Just the patience to wait. Like, you'd see a lot of people be like, okay, they have the 100 meter. Yeah. They're going to be looking for 236C to just try to skip in. They're going to be looking for 214C to TRM, like you were saying. But Gravy just willing to down back and be like, okay, I will allow you to dig your own grave. And that's what they're trying to do right here.
Ooh, there we go. Stagger finally catches out Reaper in the corner. Should have enough to set up the 2QC as well. There we go.
3D's out this time, though, able to get the right timing to deal with the worms, but Gravy still ready to deal with the post 3D situation.
Yeah, exactly. Sending up the 6-6B or the 2B just to catch you on the toes. Even escaping isn't enough. Look at the life lead, and CS still available, and the jump back, the dive kick OS, like you mentioned, now putting Gravyjones on set point.
Yeah, being able to get a perfect there as well. Gravy, I think, needed a couple rounds to be like, okay, how's Reaper feeling today?
Yes.
How is exactly... what kind of aggression are they on right here? But Reaper changing that aggression up right here, going with a big air assault in.
Able to find the counter hit 6-6B as well, just barely enough to secure cycle 2. There we go. All right, being knocked down with the 2A.
Yeah, but Gravy just using the delay tech right there. Didn't want to hold it. Guard thrust going to be working out great for them to reset back out to the neutral. But big CS into the 236C.
We've punished with the EX, but drops on the 5B. That could have been so much and potentially the kill, but Gravyjones.
2TC set into the mid screen, but we'll just back tech out, but you get caught with flight.
Delay flight, wait for the kids to do the job. The tadpole's pulling up for a little extra damage. 100 more meter on both sides. CS still available to look to bait something out, so VO strips it.
Yeah, doesn't want to have to hold any of this. ICJ2C tracking right here. Big green shield. Gravy not going to be able to punish it.
There we go. Dash up, looks for a throw bait with a kick flip, but nothing to be found. CS once again to Reaper, but nothing found off of the scramble. Just tries to swing. Thought you would look for the follow-up, but you spent 100 meter to get sent to the next round. Final game once again.
The amount of times that Reaper has gone for dash right there.
Yeah.
So Gravy just thought that they had the right perfect timing on it, but Reaper, the willingness to hold that stance like you were talking about in the beginning of the set, working out wonders for them.
Yeah, baiting out the excellent reactions from Gravy, right? Knows that we're looking for any opportunity to let that 236 fly.
Yep. Neo off the delay pressure. Mid 6C.
Oh my god, the mental stack towards the end. Knows the pressure is on to stay alive on the winner's side, so send it with the overhead. Of course, the IW isn't going to be able to kill, but it's a huge chunk of damage to even up the life lead. No!
Oh. Yeah, just going for standard throw, not trying to be any fancy with the shields right here. Good tech out of the 214, not going to get TRM.
Okay, 2B off of the backdash, not able to land, but once again, not getting throw baited, I say, as after the kickflip, we take to this guys with the J2C. Maybe we look for one more reset, but off of the 2B, as long as you don't drop, Reaper moves on to the next round, 2-1.
Pierre even cheering in the background.
He's like, yes, I love Tsurugi. Even Gravy is like, all right, damn, you got me. I can't even be mad about that one.
No, some excellent, these micro adjustments from Reaper right there. Just like you said, that willingness to just stand there and force function for 5 seconds
Yeah.
was huge for him.
Exactly. Not immediately committing to the follow-ups, even seeing when, Gravy is taking to the skies, just saying, oh, okay, even after the dive kick, even after the fireball, I'm still going to wait and see what your follow-up option is before I commit to anything. And then later and later, we got on into the set, just showing a lot of the throw baits. And then, after we did kickflip, it was like, oh, I'm chilled. This was the throw bait point that we've shown time and time again. It's my time to look for the actual throw tech, and ended up getting got by the double down that jump forward J2C.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent, excellent stuff. And we've got a bunch of more excellent matches coming up shortly, but we got to take a quick break, show you our wonderful sponsors for the event. So stay tuned. We'll be back with some more Undernight action shortly.
Are you ready?
What's good, gamers? Welcome back to Climax of Night F. We got some more Uni 2 pools action. We're getting later and later on into these pools and closer into that top 96 qualification. Up next, we got Spinach versus Snover.
Yeah. Like, we were just taking a look at the bracket. There's already a bunch of like these crazy upsets that have been happening across the board.
Yeah.
But we are getting towards the final portion of a lot of these pools, at least on the winner side of things. So these matches are going to get just more and more competitive as we go through. We were trying to figure out exactly who Spinach was going to be playing because you know he has a couple different characters that he can lock between. But it looks like he is going to be locked into the Carmine here.
Okay.
And Snover on that Aurier. So we've seen a lot of Auriers. Like this must be the Aurier block.
Yeah,
seemingly.
it's actually, I think this is like our 4th or 5th Aurier, right? Somewhere around that.
Yeah, 4th, I think. But this is our first Carmine, and this is, for those of you who are watching Climax, you should know this character. You know what he does. You know what he's doing. So we'll have to see if Spinach is going to be able to take it, or if Snover can have the right game plan to deal with the menace that is Carmine.
There we go. Yeah, already a lot of 6Bs just setting up the puddles, holding onto that full screen, spacing. To try and make sure that we're not getting away with thrust for free, even if we have that CS available.
But you can see right there, popping that 2-2A.
Ooh, there we go, away from the ICJC, just gets a throw. And behind the back, pulls you out of the corner.
Yeah, not as crazy as it was before that bug fix a little bit ago, but Air Force function still being a super strong tool now as another mix-up option that Carmine can bring to the table for you.
There we go, able to block the initial mix, sends it with the guard thrust, only to get caught right after 100 meter down the drain, still to die. Spinach with the first round.
Yeah. Excellent stuff from Spinach right there, but even be able to recognize that like puddle was still set up there afterwards, so being able to have that 6-2-3B connect at a fuller screen was very good right here.
Set the puddle once again, FF just keeping you honest at that full screen.
Popped as well, trying to catch Snover from being aggressive on the run-up right here, but right now just staying safe with things like 2C.
Yep. Hold it down, wait it out, but still 200 meter available for Spinach whenever he gets that next hit, but off of the straight, air-to-air JC, no clean confirmed. Oos.
Yeah, great recognition on Red Mist right there. Spinach was trying to go for like ICJC.
So much of the stagger was probably looking for a throw, but the 6B twirls through. There we go, Snover looking in good position off of one more hit, baits out the EX command grab and ties up the rounds clean.
Was holding up forward for like 90 frames right there to be like, I know you're going to do it. I know you're going to do it.
I know what you are.
That read.
You want that health back so bad, but still tries to send out the kick, only to get counter hit by Thanatos Summon.
Snover doing a really good job of like honestly playing some great air control, right?
Yeah.
Because I think they recognized early that Spinach is going to have a lot of success if we just stay on the ground right there. But the amount of time that they just been in the air, willing to even stay up and hold it a little bit longer with force function has been very good for them. Because like I said, we're on the ground, we're playing their game. Spinach is now in full control, using that 2C range to its fullest effect and challenging Snover so many times.
Exactly. And I mean, the ICJC, right, just covers so much space as you're looking for that jump in. And we've kept you honest with some of the FFs and the 6Bs, and now with the anti-air, Spinach ties up the life lead.
Sets up bomb right here, 1-2.
Yeah, you have CS, but it's not going to make it much easier to try and defend. First bomb exploded, second bomb. Already weathered the storm, but not enough to reach with the BDP.
Snover had a lot of great defense right there, but Spinach able to set themselves out perfectly to avoid any kind of DP, setting themselves at that perfect range for the IC60 overhead as well to take game number 1 in their favor.
Exactly. Give yourself one more mix opportunity. Avoid the reversals, like you said, with perfect spacing as we head into game 2.
Right. Ooh, big 6B right there to be able to catch the Divine Thrust. And now, once again, IC60 or JC being a perfect tool to control so much of this screen space.
Exactly. Ooh! There we go. Assault JC. Kachu trying to look for a greedy crouch shield and steal the cycle back.
Yeah. Well, let's see if Snover can get to a point that once again that they have that air superiority, because I think that was a big thing that allowed them in that round to go into their favor.
Yeah.
But Spinach, I think, is doing a good job of just playing solid anti-air here, locking him down. DP gonna connect.
Okay. Yeah, CS on the wheel, able to reach, and behind the back with the FF as well. Ends up side swapping again, so not quite able to put Spinach into the corner.
Yeah, I think they could have force functioned again to reside swap, but it would have given Spinach more grid.
Exactly.
So they didn't want to make sure they guaranteed the cycle, which forced Spinach to VO right here and get a good 5A challenge. Should be enough to close it out.
Yeah, gave up positioning for the grid advantage, but hey, at least your opponent had to spend some of those resources. That being said, your opponent now on that set point and with a neutral jump IC, JC has a great start.
Yeah, but with the opponent being on set point, you're going to take a That's a couple bigger risks right here. Things like that crouch shield right there, preemptively trying to just push him out, try to see if you get that cycle into your favor. But Spinach is just running their solid layer 1 game plan over and over again. Bomb set. Are they going to go for the fuzzy again? Are they going to try to bait out your DP? What will you do?
Okay, one more bomb, gotta be careful, but that's guard thrust, and we wait out the defensive option. No guard cancel to be seen, and no stop to the momentum as Spinach moves on to the next round.
Yeah, bomb scaling did get changed a little bit, so it wasn't as much damage, but, you know, at that much health, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. So, excellent stuff from Spinach. Going to be moving on forward one step closer. I believe that guarantees them top 96 if I'm like thinking of the bracket correctly. So, you will potentially be seeing more of them later on, but we're going to be having one of our next matches coming through. This is going to be a legendary match. We were talking about this in the break. We're going to be having AzureUnderNight coming back up. That excellent Seth game plan, but we've got a legend coming up.
That we do.
We've got one Mr. Hooper, Mr. Silent Hooper coming up.
Hey, I'm checking the start.gg bracket, and I don't see Silent in this bracket. I see some guy named Jack, but
who?
I don't see.
Is Jack out here? I didn't know he was coming.
He's inside.
But this is Silent. There's There's no other name.
There's no other guy.
There's no other name.
There's no other dude. But Azure pulling up to the stand here once again to try and secure his place in the winner's side, top 96.
And both these players are guaranteed top 96, like we were talking about before. But this is playing for winners and losers.
Yep.
And being in winners is so much more important in this tournament than a lot of others, right? Like, you still have to progress through a lot of games to be able to get to that top 8 spot. That's spot that all these players want to be at, but you have to go through a much tougher gauntlet of players on that loser side, because losers is approximately like double the amount of matches that you have to play.
Exactly.
And you're going to have to play like 12 games just to guarantee yourself into that top 8.
Yeah, and just thinking about the schedule as well, right? So the first 2 days are just pools, then the Hot Ones exhibition, which again, hopefully you guys tune into. That should be super fun. But Sunday morning is when the top cuts start. It's top 96, the top 48. I forget if we have a top 24 block. I think we do, right?
I
thought
it was just top 48. Like
okay, and then all the way through to top 8?
To top 8, yeah.
But either way, it is an absolute gauntlet all in one day with those top cuts. So being able to avoid, just running through all that mental and honestly physical fatigue, right?
Yes.
Giving yourself some opportunities to just watch some of the matches, chill out, get some food, and not have to think, oh, I have to win game after game after game on the loser's side. Especially this early, that's what matters here as we head into our next set, Silent versus Azure.
Yeah, and Silent's going to be locking in that Phonon. There was talks of him bringing an Ogre out for a couple of matches. That's a character he's been very, very active on saying this character is strong, and I think I can have a lot of success with him.
Yep.
But right now, they're showing that they want to be locking in that Phonon, but Azure is just having full control, big force function, but a weird hit with the Herbox right there, and it'll happen again.
Yeah, it's okay. Behind the back with the last. So as long as we secure Seth in the corner, that's already a win. Even though we are grid broken and still working through that meter penalty, not able to secure the cycle and not able to find a hit either. Azure with another counter.
Azure just setting up C-Orb right here, wanting to keep it simple with the double orb. We try to roll through, but unfortunately have you spaced out right here. Had the anti-air shield, but not able to punish it at that spacing.
Yeah, just a little bit too far away for the Seth 5A, but still able to keep the pressure on, I say. Being tricky in the skies with the air stall FF, but Silent brings you right back down to earth.
And this is where Silent wants you, right? Being able to be in the mid-screen gives you a couple more mix-up opportunities. Unfortunately, not able to punish on that shield right there. And Azure going to take advantage of that to take that first round.
Yeah, with green shield into Mash 5A and having it work has to, hit the mental just a little bit, but we recompose to find another hit in round 1 or round 2.
Yeah, that is a big thing with Silent. As seasoned of a competitor that he is, these little mistakes like that aren't going to affect him at all. Pops the install as well, wants to guarantee themselves as many plus frames as they can. Geyser, though, not going to connect as Azure preemptively moves out of that corner and takes to the skies to be able to secure another big hit.
Yeah, maybe trying to go for a hard call out and up back, but instead just advancing with that aerial movement. Able to escape once again. EXDP for the side swap.
Yep. Catches with a nice mix-up right there. Unfortunately, wasn't ready to confirm it, as I think all of us got hit right there. And Silent, keep it calm right here.
Yeah, he saw the whiff green shield into Mash earlier, so he did it on his side as well to find a counter hit. The empty jump, the trade. We jump over. The
blocks right here, just trying to preemptively catch out Azure as they're coming down, but Azure constantly mixing up their movement, throwing out these orbs where they can. Good 3D from Silent just to reset the control a little bit, and the use of that force function, even finding these counter hit trades, has been very beneficial for Silent.
Exactly, we've been able to escape the corner. I like the dashes as well to try and mess with the orb tracking, but not going so deep into them that we're getting caught by the TK dives, and now catching you out on the attempt to try and unblockable. It's 200 meter, but we're going to save as much as we can going into the next round.
It feels like Azure is playing a different game with the amount of like just high-speed movement that they're bringing to the table. Like, there's not a lot of Seth players that are able to play at that tempo and still have as much success as they are right now.
Exactly. He's playing DBZ. He's playing Skullgirls, but still able to try and find the KOF anti-airs here on the side of Silent. Once again, putting you in the corner and running down that cycle timer.
Big shield right here that allowed Azure to regain control and get out of that corner sequence. And this is what they need to try to close out this round.
Yep. All right, moving up into the corner once again. Set the orb. Still a big life lead to try and overcome. Ooh! Clean stand shield here. Tried to look for the throw bait, but instead Silent stays strong. Away from the 2A, but another throw bait does the job. No meter spend required. That's game 1.
Great stuff from Silent. They're just the patience to just be like, okay, I'm going to play hyper defensive at this point, find the opportunity to try to go for an anti-air shield where I can, and now trying to play a lot more of that air-to-air game because they notice as soon as they allow Azure to get up into the skies, that's where they lose. So trying to use those big air normals to catch them out should be the success that they need. Once again, TK Fireball working twice now.
Yeah. That tiny little delay, just looking for the throw attack off of the whiff, and Silent working on a perfect right now, goes into potential final round with full meter stock.
Yeah, Azure was looking like super dominant up until that last interaction in that last round, and I think Silent is really going to take that momentum to the fullest effect right here.
Yeah, just trying to find an answer to so many of these trades, right? And now able to find a trade confirmed. Just the threat of that FF resetting us back to neutral is making Azure, I think, just play just that tiny bit slower.
Yeah, Azure, though, finding an opportunity to trade, trying to find opportunities to get the orb down, but Silent so committed to destroying the orb, knowing that it would be so dangerous, allowed Azure to quickly even up these life totals.
Okay, behind the back, baits up the VO as well. All right, we got to run down the timer. No, still so much left on the Veil Off, but able to find another hit off the reset scramble. Show the stance shield, but catches you with another hit behind the back. Azure, how much do we want to spend?
Yeah, you should have to spend it all right here because you have that chain shift. You can regain a little bit of it back. But I love that from Azure. Like, they tried to go for the force function install in that combo for, make it as optimal as possible. Yeah. And while it didn't work out, being able to recognize them, like, hey, this is how I can use this stuff to its fullest effect. Unfortunately, not able to use that C dive kick at that right angle to get the guaranteed green shield punish right there.
Yeah.
Allow Silent to stay alive.
That's a heartbreaker. You had the right idea, but just a pixel away on the spacing, maybe. But still, we find the escape with the rising JA. We're able to find the side swaps as well. Azure trying to stay alive.
Staggering out right now. Silent just playing so patient, knowing that they don't have the opportunity to make a big challenge. They have to wait for Azure to make a mistake.
Yep. There we go. CS available to try and scout the gap, but the green shield caught out here. No CS and no grid either.
Yep. But being able to up back right there, find the spacing to go for the air-to-air that they need. Should give them enough time in this combo to, after this slight pressure sequence, to have the cycle go into their favor. But it's not even going to matter. As long as Silent keeps it tight right here, they will take the set 2-0.
All right. And it's all fist bumps coming out from Azure. You can see a little bit of that bittersweetness when that first game, that first round, seemed all in their favor, but something just clicked. The way that Silent was, even if it's not a solid win in neutral, just being able to stop some of these approaches and then resetting to this awkward pass point blank, but mid-range where, you're thinking, oh, okay, do I have enough time as Seth to take to the skies and once again try and be tricky with my air mobility before Phonon can lock me down?
Yes, yeah. And like you're saying, that trying to find those opportunities before the lockdown is where you lose, because you have to be ready and preemptive against that, because as soon as Phonon makes you think and stop being like, okay, what am I going to do? That's where your entire game plan will crumble.
Exactly. Like we even saw, in the last one round, in the last 2 rounds, this tiny, slowdown in the velocity that, Azure was kind of navigating across the screen. Obviously, it didn't change when we had the offense, right? Knows what kind of setups we're looking for. But in neutral, just thinking, okay, if I delay this, am I going to be able to bait out this anti-air attempt? And Silent just ran away with that extra little bit of mental tempo.
So excellent stuff. That should be Silent moving on winner side top 96 now. So.
All right. As we wait for our next competitors to head up onto the stand.
Yeah. I didn't see who was walking up right there, but it looks like it is Ryu. I believe this should be versus Subject.
Oh, okay. So if I'm not mistaken, of course we have the show projected on start.gg, and I don't remember if this was initially in Ryu's path. So again, Climax of Night, these Uni 2 pools are absolute bloodbaths. You can never count anyone out for some of these upsets.
Yeah, and upsets is like more than to say, or what's the word I'm looking for? Subject is a very strong player. There's someone that is someone that you can't like slack on if they're in your pool path, right?
Exactly.
Show
us the stick. What we got? I actually didn't even get to see it. I was too busy telling you guys to look at it.
It's got anime girls on it. That's all you
I
need
believe
to
it.
know.
Good. I love that for you, bestie. Sorry, true. All right, so we're going to be seeing, of course, a little bit of Orie back up to the stand.
Yeah.
Our first Gordeau.
Yes, yeah. Subject's a long-time Gord player.
Okay.
There's two subjects. There's that both have different numbers at different like.
Oh, really?
Like replacing different letters, and one's a Vat player, one is a Gord player. Yeah.
Well, we have like two subjects. We have two Shinos. We have Mango Tango versus Spooky Mango. Like we got a lot of overlap going on here.
I get mixed. People, the amount of times that like when I was first in the scene, that people thought it was like, oh, Tabby, the Japanese Hilda player, and I'm like, no.
This is PNW Tabby. Tabby Nickel.
Nihongo Janai.
Umai Janai. Jozu Janai as we head on into it once again. Another fight in the winner's side of pools, Ryu-Orie versus Subject.
And this is a matchup, like at least a character matchup-wise, that Ryu should be super comfortable on, right? Gord being a very popular character, especially with Kyo, another one of the Japanese players who came over to this event.
Here this weekend, if I'm not mistaken,
yes,
right? So,
and I believe, but has been playing Tsurugi mostly through their whole path.
Okay.
And that's a character that they really believe in. So having a lot of success there. Ryu, though, having a lot of success in the early stages of this round with some early pressure on the Subject, being able to check him with those 2As as well as soon as they got him locked down in the corner. And I like that. North American players don't do this enough, where you just drop your combo mid to be like, I'm going to concentrate because I want to guarantee the cycle, because like getting an extra 1,000 damage off that is not as important as using that cycle to guarantee yourself a one more touch interaction, being able to spend the meter like that, trying to catch him on a DP if they were pressing on the Thanatos, but Subject staying patient.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes when you know that the extra damage from the combo isn't going to kill, just denying your opponent that resource, that potential to just get that reversal of fate to escape the corner can be so important. So Ryu with a strong round number one, that perfect, and the walk back to whip punish with the C thrust. We're going to bring Subject right back to the corner where we saw them last round.
Here, big grid break. Now should be able to set Thanatos once again, but Subject is staying the patience.
CS, okay, awkward trade-off with the 2As. Spaced out in the slide.
Oh, good shield on the deep 6-6C right there. Not going to be able to have to deal with anything too crazy as it comes through.
Yep. Okay, thrust with the side swap. 4K run under, but went for the throw instead. Ryu now up a game.
Yeah, a lot of players are already preemptively checking for those quick little run unders to be able to deal with the side swap. So Ryu just moving on to that next layer a little bit forward to be able to go for the throw.
Yep.
Someone might not be as ready for. Subject, though, not ready for the early hits that came up from Ryu either.
Yeah. Is really having trouble. You know, so many of these first round interactions are going over to Ryu and trying to escape, even with some of the changes that we've seen from Gordon the past few months, are still making it so difficult. But not impossible. We found the throw, but back to the corner we go with the mash out on Ryu.
Yeah. Ryu just finding like all these perfect opportunities to be pressing at the exact times they need. The late 6B right there. So many people just go for 6B during the Thanatos because they want that guaranteed damage. And they think, oh, once it's done, I'm free from the mix-up. No, you are never free. You always have to be ready for it. But Subject, though, ready to find this big confirm that they were able to find and should be able to start getting the tides turned into their favor a little bit. But we'll just let that CDP rip as Ryu-Orie wants to guarantee themselves that top 96 winner side.
Yeah. It was such a big health lead, so we're saving some of that meter just to try and, you know, not be too greedy and try to stay alive. 6B, clean block coming out from Subject.
Staggers out right here. Once again, green shield's coming out for Ryu, which is something that they got punished for a lot in the last time that we had them on stream. So it'll be interesting to see if Subject can adapt to that and then get a lot of advantage, you know, with like Grid Break a Sim.
Exactly. Finding some of those shield habits. CS.
Patience, try to catch him with a 2B, but Ryu just stayed patient right there and assaults over the next time that they want to try to challenge with it.
No 2B to be seen. We're taken to the skies and taking you to the corner. Once again, it's the East Coast side this time. We still have CS available. Got to watch the JA. You tried to watch the 3D, but you got thrown out of the 6B. No overhead to be seen.
Great shields right there, able to force Subject to play a little bit more passively, which is what Ryu wants.
Yep, set up Thanatos once again. AB Ender.
Thanatos catches the overhead, but it blocks the second one as well.
There we go.
Subject staying patient.
Okay, didn't bite on the throw tech. Stagger's still clean. Looking for the 3B, but nothing found. Subject staying on the ground. Any opportunity to try and escape. Big whip on the 5B.
Yeah, good blocks of the overhead, not eating these 6Bs. Tried to see a sim out, but Ryu spaced themselves out and found the opportunity to assault in.
Oh man, the scaling off of the JA, the AB, but you still had CS for the CBO. 6-6C into the super, and we're what? Okay, never mind. My bad.
They had the OTG at the very end right there. I was worried because I was like, CBO scaling doesn't kill right here. Are you able to get that actual extension?
Yes.
But clearly, Ryu,
if anyone can do it, it's him.
Yeah, when you got your character's name in your tag,
Exactly.
like, you should know that works. So excellent stuff from Ryu. Going to be moving on forward, top 96 winner side here.
Yeah. So we are still going to be seeing Subject come Sunday morning, but it's going to be fighting in the shark-infested waters of the losers side, top 96. So it's not the end of their run just yet.
It's not only shark infested. There's piranhas. There's electric eels.
There's carps.
There's carp.
Probably. I actually don't know if he's played yet, but I just had to put that one out there. I believe in my Boston Yuzu goat.
I think he played. Judging by his state last night, I would hope he had played.
Judging by the amount of substances that were
Yes.
imbibed last night of various, ABVs,
Yes.
one would assume.
One would assume
probably out
that
of
you're not
pools.
doing that and then going into your pools block, surely.
There are some folks who would, but I don't know if Carp is one of those folks. But yeah, exactly. It was big chillin'. It's kind of just like watching some of the games right now. Taking all the uni in, and of course making opportunities to hang out, have some damn good times with the Climax fam. I've been seeing pictures of the dinners that people have been going to, and even though I really enjoyed going out to K Barbecue yesterday, I feel like every time I scroll, I'm like, damn, I wish I went there.
Yep.
I wish I went there. It's like beautiful brisket.
Yeah.
It's Szechuan cuisine. I'm like, please, there's only so many days, so much time to get food while we're around.
It's one of those things that I love about Atlanta, just that there's always good food places no matter where you're at. So you're always able to find something like I said, I looking at some people's dinner and just see what they're talking about, I'm like, oh, that looks delicious. Where
God,
did
I
you
wish
go?
that would be
I'm
it.
going there tonight.
Exactly. Like I've gotten over, especially considering from last year's Climax to now, I feel like I'm just so much more comfortable seeing spots that are like, damn, I want to be there. I'm just immediately replying you got to drop the link or you got to drop the name of the spot because I'm trying to go there later tonight. They're like, yeah, I got you.
You don't want to eat Publix chicken tender subs for
I
nights in there?
I love Publix. I love the pub subs. I love waiting 30 minutes in line when the person in front of me is like, yeah, I actually got 4 orders for subs, so is it cool if I just do them back to back? I'm like, ah!
That happened to me on Thursday night.
Are you serious?
And when I got there, there was a line of
way.
10 people deep,
Yeah.
and when I got up front, they were like, "This is literally the last chicken." So
It's the last cutlet. It's
the
all
last,
we got.
It's the last cutlet.
I remember last year I went there and I tried to get it was a barbecue chicken cutlet sandwich. And I go up there and I'm just like, yeah, I can just get the barbecue chicken sandwich. They're like, we're out of barbecue. And I just looked them dead in the eyes. I'm like,
What do you mean you're out of
in
barbecue?
the whole store? In the whole Publix? You got no barbecue in the whole spot? He's like, he looks around and he takes a blank look at the condiments. He's like, yeah. I'm like, you know what, man? You probably served 100 to 200 Climax goers today, and it seems like your first day out here. I'm not gonna press you on it. Let me get the Chipotle mayo. He's like, all right, that sounds good. We got to be kind to the folks that are feeding the hungry mouths of Climax of Night.
07's in chat for our Publix and Wawa employees here at
Absolutely,
Fighting Game
man.
Managers.
They do a much more difficult job than us, but
Yes.
all right, of course. Our next match is going to be Brrrr versus Bigfella, a couple homies that we both know. Of course, Bryce coming in from the Philly region, I think has recently moved back to the Midwest. But Bigfella, if I'm not mistaken, this is Arizona, right? I know this is one of Lid's homies. So pulling up with the Merkava versus Vatista, and I see that Pomu just chilling in the shirt pocket.
Is this an upset? Because I think by the point you should have played, I think...
Oh, there was, because we were looking for another Bryce match.
Yeah, so Bigfella actually upset Squish to get here.
Damn!
So, and those are both Arizona guys. So,
Oh, the Arizona team kill to make it over here to Bryce. So is this for to make top 96 or for winners to losers?
This is winners and losers in the top
Damn.
96. So.
Okay. We were thinking we were going to see Squish here, but Bigfella with already such a strong round start coming up against Bryce.
Yeah, it's showing you the strength of that Vatista, right? Being able to just have that full screen control to deal with characters like Merkava, but also keep the mix of aggression when you need it right here. But Bryce keeping the patience and finding an opportunity to get the big 2-1-4 starter that they've been looking for.
All right, back down to the corner, but still a big life lead to overcome. CS available for Wake Up if we choose to spend, but now we're just going to send it with the 3D, see if you're looking for it, and sees the red mist and scouts it out with the C flash kick.
Yeah, but Bryce willing to take that, just trying to get some download information as we are early into the set. So, just trying to see exactly how Bigfella's feeling and what they want to do. Great pickup right there. A red beat, but we'll take those where we can get it as long as we're still in bracket.
Exactly. It's the red idea. Send it out. There you go. Clean first round coming out from Bigfella. Big meter advantage as well as we fade away with the A-ball or B-ball.
Just takes it to clear it off the screen, and there we go. 63B anti-air.
go, just reaching so high in the sky. Trying to make sure you can't get away with the float, trying to make sure you can't get away with the stand. Shield, grid break immediately coming out for Bryce.
Yeah, it just goes for Icy 2-2B right here. Wants to be able to get the worm as active as possible. But Disco coming out for Bigfella right here. And Bryce just backtacks away, doesn't want to have to hold any of it. That is the scariest mixed position out there.
Oops. All right, finds it with the 5C.
Should be able to set down, just going in the single gem, but the 2-3-6 reversal coming out from Bryce right here. And we got those combos as well.
Yeah. I thought the gem meaty was actually going to end up safe off of the 6-6B, but just a little bit too slow. Like you said, the 2-3-6C brings us back into the corner. Fade away with the flight, and the big slam that 5B. Brrrr is going to tie up the rounds.
Yeah, I think I was kind of expecting Disco to come out from Bigfella again, as they had showed it out early, and with the screen spacing, we would be able to lock Bryce down either into the corner or hold them into the scary mix. So. Let's see, that potentially comes back up, but right now Bigfella just off to the early, aggression, which has been the success for them in a lot of these rounds.
Yeah, trying to stick out the 5B, but just barely out of range, and whip punish with a counter hit 2B of Bigfella's own. Now we're sending the Disco. We have another after, even if this one doesn't end up working out.
Yeah, Ansela CS as well to keep themselves safe, be able to get more meter on deck. Will need to spend it shortly, or they risk losing the cycle right here, as Bryce had some great shields.
Ooh, okay, that one, even the meaty laser doesn't end up being reversal safe. So again, another 2-6C of fortune coming out from Bryce.
Yeah, that's what they need to really turn those tides, right? Being able to just make sure that they can strip as much health as possible away from the Vatista, keep themselves safe as well from the flash potentially that could have came out from Bigfella. And now we get C-Worm set.
Okay, with the flight. Yeah, and waiting it out for the guard thrust.
We saw this the last time Merc was on the screen, just being able to use that guard thrust to clear out the worms. You don't want to have to hold any of it. 6-6B pick up right at the very end right there, but Bigfella has a pixel, and Vatista can do anything to a press right here to get out of the corner. And now you are in a very dangerous situation for both these players.
Yeah, it's one touch, 30 seconds on the clock. Trying to find something off of the discos, but the assault cross-up isn't enough. We find the reversal throw as Bryce brings that game right back.
Yeah, Bigfella really just like committed to using Disco, which I think was like a super smart option, but then was trying to bait no mix almost off of it, which you see a lot of success from people using Disco to just go for extended 2P B drill that allows you to reset it once again. So Bryce showing the lack of mix-up right there, allowing them to take that round and quickly find a big hit early on into this one.
Yeah, we saw that round start. It was like, oh, with 4B, if it doesn't work, I'm going to do it again. Bigfella ended up getting counter hit for it and stuck in the corner. Even with the CS, it's going to be so difficult to try and escape once we get this 2-2C set.
Bryce has to be careful, as Bigfella is probably going to be looking to flash kick out right here. We just went for low flight.
Yeah. All right, poke out. Just looking for some of these dash QBs. Not trying to be too crazy. Fade away with the FF. Oh, no. It still finds a counter hit. Once again, that 4B doing wonders for Bryce.
Yeah, 4B, then immediately just checking with the 6-6B. After the no cancels, they respected the frames. Pop that meter just to guarantee the round. And Bryce is one health bar away from moving on to top 96.
Yeah, exactly. Get the most meter you can out of it off of the cinematic EXs that don't kill until that last hit. But AB from downtown once again puts us in the corner. Bigfella having a hard time kind of swapping up this momentum. Ooh, not quite able to cross under, but spot yourself a tiny bit of space, tries to assault only to get caught out.
Yeah, you can buy yourself as much space as you'd like, but Merkava does a great job of controlling it right here, able to find another large hit. Sets up the C-Worm. We'll see what Bigfella wants to do. They're just going to take the throw and eat all the extra worm damage for 2,500.
Yep.
You are...
Tries to find the guard thrust, but nothing to be found. The throw wasn't quite enough to kill, and bet it all with 100 meter, but back down into the loser side of top 96 as Bryce secures his spot, doing it big for his 3 Oshis, Machina play on Pomu Rain, but of course, Mint Phantom as he reps them in that winner's side top 96.
Absolutely excellent stuff from Bryce. You said a lot of VTubers and it kind of just glazed all over me.
Oh my god, he's got it on the stick too. I forgot that he's decked out his Light Fox with it too.
I remember he was talking. He had like some plushes that were supposed to come from that VTuber or something that
really?
didn't end up making it right before. So
that's how it goes. He still repped very well, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing him bright and early on Sunday morning for winner's side top 96. So still got that action ready.
Yeah, and still plenty of action left in this block right here. We should be coming to our last couple of games though, as we're coming through and getting ready. It does look like Pinku sitting down. I didn't see.
Is that NegaReaper on the other side as well?
Yeah,
so Tsurugi versus ryu-orie potentially coming up next.
Oh boy.
I wonder, so, we were kind of talking about this before the stream, that Pinku has kind of, jumped back and forth between exploring a bunch of different characters, the most recent of which being Enkidu, right? And thinking, oh, maybe I'll bring him out for bracket. I'm not sure if he's ready yet. To kind of thinking, oh, there are certain matchups where, maybe I'm actually feeling pretty comfortable about the Enkidu. I'm not sure if we want to go toe-to-toe with the close-range shield brawler of Tsurugi with Enkidu, or if we're feeling comfy with the Orie.
I would think even if they were, like, if that Enkidu was at 100%, I wouldn't be bringing out in this matchup, right? Like, Tsurugi does a lot of what Enkidu does, but just a little bit better. So you're already playing at those same effective ranges. And it can be hard for the Enkidu to really make things work. And at that point, you're having to shift and play that more with punish style of game plan. And if you're going to do that, why not pick the character with Divine Thrust?
Exactly, yeah. Playing a character that, especially going into Reaper, right? Someone who we kind of talked about earlier has this kind of belligerent and simultaneously like whimsical playstyle where it's like, oh, I'm fine leaving a little bit of damage on the table if it means I can get 1, 2 resets on you with drop combo into 6C, run up throw. Just so many things to try and keep you on your toes, even in these situations where you're like, it's fine, I'm getting comboed, let me think about the next interaction.
Exactly.
I'm trying to see what's on this guy's that is Anila. Got it. Understood. I don't even remember the last time. That is Sheep Girl, yeah.
Sheep Girl.
I'm trying to remember the last time I saw Reaper playing Grand Blue. I'm sure he runs casuals with the Canada scene.
He probably plays on his phone a lot of the time.
I'm sure. I believe it.
Yeah, but we are going to be locking in that Orie for Pinku right here. Tsurugi on Reaper's deck. So we'll see. Like I said, both these players will be making it out in a top 96, but this is that winners and losers side match. And an early concentrate for both players, just wanting to try to have an early control of that grid gauge. And right now, it's looking Reaper favored, but...
Yeah. It sounded like a handshake before the beginning of the round. It's like, all right, let's play for cycle, but with no hits.
I realized, for half a second, I was like, wait, is this actually just a button
check?
check? Yeah. But then they started playing seriously. And they both
I saw the head shake from Pinku, and I was like, oh, okay, it's real.
Yeah. Yeah, both players just want to try to lock cycle as much as possible. You can really see it's like, hey, once that first cycle goes through, it changes the entire flow of the match because, keeping CS away from Reaper, not allowing them to CS through the delay stagger on the Orie pressure and land like a big DP hit. And Orie looking to utilize it to get some better mix-ups, but Reaper, though, going to be VOing right at the perfect time to be able to also lock in that cycle for them as well. Yeah,
run up backdash, just trying to look for a throw bait, but said, all right, if you're gonna be content with the down back, I'm gonna go for 2 throws in a row.
Go with a third one right here, right after that stagger. Armor stance coming through in the delay right there, trying to catch Pinku pressing, but they're not having it until they find that great run under.
Yeah, there we go. Cross under 5A, finds a side swap punish to keep it simple with the AB whip into the 2-2C.
And there's that CS right there trying to catch them for going for something like 6B on the overhead right there to DP out of the pressure sequences, but Pinku keeps it safe.
Again, it's a lot of backdash concentrate just to try and get this early grid lead.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, cancel the 6-6B into the FF, trying to see if Pinku looks for a mash out.
Yeah, I like this change on Reaper's game plan, willing to just cash out some of the grid cycle early, to be able to use force function to close the distance, and then still find opportunities to steal the cycle right at the very end.
Yeah. Okay, run up throw. This puts you so healthy in the grid cycle, not even worth risking anything to try and steal it back, but green shields put yourself in good position for the next one. Ooh!
Yeah, pops the CS to catch the armor right there and found the low, but couldn't find the full conversion at that spacing.
Yeah.
IC2C keeps him up close. Good shields to keep yourself safe, Pinku.
Yep. Hold on to the cycle. Ooh, just a little bit far for that 5B. Maybe let go of the shield a little bit too early. Forgot how many hits there were in that EX.
Yeah. Sets it up once more. Goes low this time.
Yep. Stagger 2A, 2A, 5A, 5A.
Yeah, and just catch it with the 60C as it comes through. Tried to CS for a potential reset right there. Unfortunately, didn't work in Piku's favor.
Yeah, immediately just looking for a rebeat, but didn't think it would be a counter hit off of the 5B, but still such a big life lead and a tiny bit too short on the run-up throw. Keep it simple, 3 buttons as Pinku secures game 1.
Yeah, excellent stuff. This is like, it may not look like it. This is such a deep matchup these two are playing with each other. Just the amount of like patience that they're having, and you're seeing them try to quickly cycle through so many different options and to find that right tempo lead into their favor. And you saw a lot of options come up right in the beginning, but Reaper eventually able to find this first big hit.
Yeah, that had to be a misinput, I'm assuming. Maybe looking for the A version, just slip to the B. Either way, the whip on that DP ends up getting all right, never mind. You know, reversal forward. Exactly.
The law of equivalent exchange coming up. If you're going to DP, I'll DP right after. And we'll DP one more time as well, but the CDP going to connect out for Reaper right here.
Ooh. Okay. Delay throw attack. Yeah, secure cycle once more. Getting blocks on the 6B as well. Boom! Okay, and we bust out after the shield with the 6-6B, a little dash action.
Yeah. Be able to set into the J236B right here, but Pinku recognizing that, hey, I actually have the advantage over in this situation, but unfortunately it's not enough. As soon as Reaper got the cycle, found their gap, popped that CS, DP'd out, and is quickly trying to tie it up 1-1. That trade will go into their favor as well.
Yeah, trading with 6-6B is not something you want to do. Reaper, ended up giving the pressure in that last round, but was fine with going for the CS. Now it's VO to bust out. Yeah, the increased grid gain on that concentrate as well. Cleanly secures cycle. Goes straight into the IW, I believe. No, just a drop on that 5A.
Oh, good delay staggers right there with the Thanatos summon. Pinku really just wanting to make sure that Reaper cannot tie this up, because the longer the set goes, that's the more mind games that you have to play against the Tsurugi player.
Exactly. All right, CS available for the 2-2C. And we built up enough for the EXDP, but it wasn't quite enough. But run up to A, now putting Pinku on set point.
Pinku was just willing to get any kind of trade as quickly as possible. Good delay reaction right there. Was just waiting for something like 6-6B. Was waiting for that force function to come through. Tried to anti-air, but the J2C going to anti-air. Give Reaper the start they want.
The AA.
Reload.
No L-Num to be seen. Yeah, exactly. But, no throw to be seen either way. We run up with the assault and catch Pinku looking for that throw tech.
Okay, pops a great counter hit right here. This should be enough. You have the cycle. You have all the meter on deck. You should be able to see VO right at the very end right here, and they know it as well. Get the extra damage extension to guarantee it. And that should be Reaper tying it up 1-1.
There we go. Vorpal damage, my beloved. On top of that base from Tsurugi. Now we're heading into game number 3. But back to character select. Not necessarily the character swap, because I think the Orie has been working out, but let's give ourselves a little bit of time to, recompose. Think about the game plan.
Yeah, I'm always, especially with players who are so tempo-heavy like Reaper, just giving yourself the opportunity to just, ice them out a little bit, and it gives you chances to find big starters just like this.
Yeah, kind of a bold round start coming out from Pinku, right? We think of 6-6B as just, keeping so many characters honest from that start, but instead going for a dash C of your own.
There you go. Pinku actually even able to gain Celestial off this as well, so if they're able to find a big hit in these next about 10 seconds or so, it could be very dangerous for Reaper, but so Reaper just wants to concentrate, get rid of as much of that grid as possible, not give him that 200 meter.
Yeah, it's tricky. Just looked at the grid situation, said, okay, I have CS, so I have that decreased grid gain. I might as well try and get some meter for it, but tricky behind the back for Reaper.
It's over here, good blocks on the overhead as they're coming through, and it has to VO right there because you don't want to risk accidentally getting grid broken for that crouch shield.
There you go. Ooh, okay, sees the red, and straight into the IW off the armor follow-up.
Yeah, this is the full extension, but the bionic arm comes through. Reaper to still have a little bit of time, and Pinku now just reaction DPing on all these gaps, which may change what Reaper wants to be doing. May have them hold that armor stance a little bit longer, and some of these pressure sequences, the 6-6B will connect for them though.
Man, exactly. Just with the concentrate from full screen, goading you into an option to try and find that counter hit, but again, caught you in the middle with that 6-6B. Now he put up the armor stance.
Yeah, you see them just popping it and then immediately backing out because they're trying to get Pinku to react to it, trying to look for, have them opportunities.
Ooh, clean confirmed. Maybe just a little bit too far for a next air normal, but still drops off with a CVO.
Yeah, and Pinku just goes for 2-2C right there because they want to just, drain as the CVO as quickly as possible. Trades end up going into Pinku's favor right there. Oh my goodness.
Clean confirmed. Saw the wall bounce and knew 5B was going to do the job. Back to set point for Pinku.
Staggering out right now, trying to catch Reaper pressing because, they're seeing the concentrate ward and potentially come through, and it's going to end up heading in Reaper's favor.
Counter hit. I mean, just goading these actions after the concentrate. Reaper has been doing such a good job of meeting Pinku on that approach. The jump back, but actually ended up still staying on the opposite side.
Yeah, found themselves at that right exact spacing. Good tech out, no TRM coming through. Now players just concentrating once again. But Pinku recognizing that they have to try to control some of that screen space, but as soon as Reaper gets that cycle in their favor, they're immediately challenging him once again.
Yeah, I mean, he's just being so tricky after the concentrates, whether it's 6-6 jump over, air stall with J2C. We've built up such a health lead, even with Pinku finding this hit and, going coast to coast with that AB ender. No, instead, just securing a cycle.
Yeah, and I think securing a cycle is so important. You're seeing how important the cycle is to Reaper, that if you can steal away from them, it changes up their entire game plan.
Okay. Find the kickflip behind the back, but back at the mid-screen, no pick up on the counter hit, 2C. That's a heartbreaker as we head into final game, final round.
Yeah, 2C whiff 2A, not connecting right there. Divine Thrust trade. Sometimes that normally goes into the Orie favor, but you're versus Tsurugi. He's got all the hits out in the world to make this work.
There you go. You got all the meter in the world, but the position advantage definitely not in your favor. Able to find the assault over, but still finds a punish for Reaper.
Yeah, tricky 2-on-4A right there, working out wonders for Reaper. And this is a great situation for them to be in. Pinku really has to make something big happen, but you do have a lot of meter on deck. You do have the cycle now. You could make something happen, but you got hit with the 2-3-6, and that's one more big touch for Reaper. Cycle should go into their favor with 200 meter on deck, but they're not able to find the end of the combo they're looking for. Vio got baited, and we'll just keep it simple for Reaper to take the set 2-1 to move on to top 96 winner side.
That was the longest handshake I've ever seen. That was like a solid 5 minutes. That was a whole cycle.
That was a whole cycle. Yeah.
There we go. But still a smile on the face of Pinku. We will still be seeing them on Sunday morning for top 96, but down in the loser side with a barn burner of a set. You guys can see the audience on both sides, right? So many folks just cheering both of these gamers on.
Yeah, there's even people like way behind them. I see people like crowding their own sets or they're playing pools. All right, let me look back and see what's going on over there.
They're like, hold up, wait, this is a banger set. Hold on, let me just wait at the rematch real quick. It's like, are you icing me out? No, it's just like a really good set.
No, my homie's on. I gotta watch.
Yeah, exactly. It's Pinku Reaper. Like, you understand. They're like, oh, wait, for real? Is that on God? So I see a lot of folks pulled up here in the front row of the audience. So I'm wondering if a lot of them are just spectating, or if we're going to be seeing some more banger matches as we head on into things.
I think we should be getting a little bit more. I think a lot of people were watching that match. Like I see Pierre in the front audience.
Exactly.
As well. A lot of
cheering on Tsurugi.
Well, a lot of the Northeast guys, because that was a Northeast match.
Yes.
So a lot of the Northeast French people were coming through just making sure that they could see it.
Yeah.
Everybody shaking hands with Reaper, congratulating on that top 96.
Yeah. NEFB, ECFB. You know, it's a battle of these Eastern regions.
Yes.
All right. Ooh, okay. So it looks like our next set, I saw him in the crowd, but I didn't notice his opponent. It's going to be Silicon versus Lena Hazard coming up. So this is Philly versus PNW, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Lena is actually one of the few Portland players that were able to make it out here. So one of my locals. Let's go Portland. Let's go NorCal. She has been on Yuzu for a very extended period of time. She's